power.
Power.
Now you're playing with power.
Oh, plosives.
Now you're playing with plosives. Plosives. Nancy Pelosive.
You've gone too far, man. You got to bring it back.
Never. Now I'm stuck. BMFcast.
Yep.
Plosive.
Yeah, I definitely noticed on the live stream I did, plosives were in full effect.
It didn't sound too bad. Like I was watching you on the television, and it didn't sound too bad. It sounded all right.
Good to hear.
Yeah, if you want a Rock Band mic, I have like 5 somehow.
I will gladly take one because I guess I don't know if the cat or the dogs chewed through the wires of my last one, but it was dead.
Do you have a microphone that has a clip that'll hold that? A microphone stand?
Yeah.
With a clip that'll hold that? Okay.
I have to find it, but I know I have one. It's probably
Okay.
in the attic because all happy reminders of my old life.
I think I have an extra boom mic.
It's like VC Andrews up in there.
I think I have an extra boom mic, and I'll look and see if I have a... Because it's... I don't know if you had a boom mic or just a straight stand, but...
It was more of a straight stand.
Okay.
Like,
The boom mics are a lot easier to use when you're streaming, because you can A, swing them out of the way if you need to, and B, they don't have to be right up in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag your business.
but I do think I'm going to get a new... the Snowball's all right, but I'm just not crazy about the sound quality for the Futurama show.
Is that what you're using? It's just a snowball?
Yeah, and it's not even one like with the adjustable settings. It's just like, it was an Amazon deal of the day 7 years ago or something, and I was like, all right, I want a Snowball.
Chuck,
you know what I'm saying?
Didn't you upgrade? Do you have
a Yeti?
You have an old Yeti or a Snowball?
I have an old Snowball,
Okay.
but it has multiple settings. It's the one we used for our Rock Band live stream.
Maybe you can see if it works better for Mackie.
Well, it's probably my phone. I think we determined it's my phone.
Hot mic.
Oh. I don't have headphones on, so I didn't hear it. Man, this does not have an entry in
Jens.
Wikipedia.
Also, no trivia.
No trivia.
This movie may as well not exist.
Well, add that to the list.
Did we get in touch with all the winners yet?
I never heard from...
The live stream person?
Yeah, we have not heard from Zara.
Yeah, no, I only
Zarok,
brought
the
it up in
67th.
case, they happen to be lurking, and we could say, hey, email us bmf@bmfcast.com, your address, and we will send you Cool Breeze.
Yep.
Yeah, Barack Obama.
We need an address.
Yeah, Zarok.
So that we can stalk you. I mean,
Yeah, I want to see.
we don't quite have that, Jay and Silent Bob money yet from the Patreon where we can fly around the country and
Punch people in the
punch
face.
people, the critics.
I don't know why I was thinking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
That just the whole being able to go
Follow
somewhere
the
and
trolls,
just
yeah.
beat the fuck out of a troll.
Be nice.
God, it would be so amazing.
Did you post as
think it was
Magnolia fan?
What?
That was one of the
Oh,
handles
yeah.
because Kevin Smith hates Magnolia for some reason. Probably because it's a good movie.
Movie poop shoot.
Because
Is
the man
website.
would, the man would later go on to make Tusk, and Magnolia is still good.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, well,
just saying.
I know. Hey, man, we all know.
Yeah.
Stopping to stream so I don't mess up everybody's stuff. Business.
Come on, liquor.
Work faster.
Get in there.
Do your thing.
This is why we should have started earlier.
Well, that's Taco Bell's fault.
Yeah.
I mean the drinking part. Like, put it in while we were watching the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean.
I considered it, but I was
I figured I
was
might
flustered.
fall asleep.
Is that my Letterboxd password? Yes, first try.
Good job.
Woo! Woo!
Winner is you.
Woo!
Woo indeed.
I need an entry on that old Real Men of Genius thing. Guy who
Mr.
gets his
remembered his
password
password
the
the
first
first time.
try. Yeah.
Other men fumble with password managers.
Is it password 1? Is it 1Password? It's neither.
Capital P, who knows and who cares?
Yeah, my parents, their laptop was fucked, and I had to basically reactivate it. So I got it working and did the virus scan. It's like, yeah, there's a Trojan on here, recording keystrokes, all sorts of shit. I was like, yeah, go ahead, change your passwords on everything, and don't use the same ones on anything. And my dad's like, what?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
And I was like,
I lost the Excel spreadsheet with all my passwords on
yeah,
it.
it's on that computer. Yeah, it was not a good. I was like, okay, let's start with change your email immediately, change your bank immediately. Actually, change your bank first, then change your email.
Well, unless it's your primary email, and then they can just reset a password to that, and if they're already in, then they have everything. But
Yeah, well,
whatever email account you use to like forget my passwords is probably the first one you want to change.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, my parents did one even worse. I actually convinced them to use a password manager, and then
They forgot the password.
they forgot the
manager.
master password to
Oh,
the fucking
no.
password manager.
Is there a reset for, are they like using Dashlane?
Yeah,
Is there a reset
I
at all?
think so. There's like some convoluted process. I was just like, really? You just needed to remember one password?
Or your fingerprint. You,
I
remember your
should have just
fingerprint.
given them one password to be like, see, it's right in the name. Just remember one password. Just make it complex.
Yeah. Well, I told my dad, I'm like, just use phrases you're going to remember. Short phrases you'll remember.
Yeah.
Like, my son is really smart. Or
Well, he'd probably forget that.
or
That doesn't work
Yeah.
for your dad.
I know. Well, actually, I think I did say my sister's name. She's like, oh yeah, she is really smart. That was actually what I told him to start using, and I said, just pick a number, pick the year she was born, just do something.
What year was your daughter born?
Yeah.
Is she dumb?
Say her name, Bastion.
We'll say it.
I was going to talk about how I formed my master password.
Oh, yeah, she'd probably do
realized
that.
that was a really bad idea.
No, please tell us, what is your master
Really
password?
not do that.
Also, what is your email address that you use for that? I just, inquiring minds want to know.
Eat all of my balls at yahoo.com.
Oh,
Yahoo! Your shit's
Yeah.
fucked already.
Just curious what the last 4 of your social is. Just
I didn't know you were the tweetbot
It's a little
CEO
game.
guy.
Yes.
Did you read that one today? The tweet. I think it's the tweetbot. No, not tweetbot. It's one of the other ones. Hootsuite. Hootsuite CEO replied to a journalist who was basically wrote an article saying whatever their valuation was way over what it should be, and he basically said, if you want to confirm this, why don't you call me at 1-800? And he basically spelled out eat
no.
dick. And so the person called it and was like, haha, very clever. Yeah, and then it prompted more articles, of course,
of course.
Nice.
because apparently it's an actual
I want
active 800 number.
Oh, for eating dick.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to write one, not even to be malicious, but just to fuck with people on Facebook. That's like, find out what Game of Thrones character you are, and be like, what's your last 4 digits of your social? Your mother's birthday, your mother's maiden name, and then see how many people enter it, and then go. I'd
Steal all their money?
yeah.
My favorite was-
and then I would just give them all. They'd all be Hodor.
Yeah.
They would always be Hodor.
My favorite are the teens that get their first credit card and take a picture of it and put it online. Like, got my first credit card. It's like, that's now invalid.
Why don't you take a,
You're also getting your first replacement card soon.
yeah. Why don't you take a picture of the back?
Yeah. Cool. What's the back look like? Does it have a hologram on it?
Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, identity theft. How about that?
We're going to do identity theft.
So
We're going to
hard.
use our Patreon money to thieve identities. It's the best idea.
So far, we spent it on rum and pizza.
Yep. Ritza.
But what our plan is.
Well, actually, hosting.
Cheers.
We're going to break into all the old Blockbuster videos and steal all the copies of Identity. It's identity theft. It's just, we're not very good at it.
It's a dumb crime.
Yeah, it's a really dumb crime.
Or the best crime, Chuck.
Yeah. It's not a very good movie, but what if somebody wants it and we have all the copies, Chuck?
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. They couldn't possibly make more or put it somewhere digitally.
No.
Hey, listen, one day they'll be looking to archive Identity, and they'll be like, we need to get some special features together. Does anyone have a VHS copy of Identity? And we'll be like, oh, brother Dewey, how many you need?
Just one. We'll give you $4 for it.
A bargain at any price.
All right. Should we light this candle? Get the show on the road?
Yeah.
All right.
Getting all rummy.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
BMFcast.
Episode 365.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's like a year
Yeah,
or something.
sure.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie, come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks. All right, robot jocks. However, there are bad movies. Listen, stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in douchebags after Twilight.
Yuck, we don't like it.
Irrelevant reference.
It is not our thing.
Unfortunately, Blaxploitation History Month is over, so we have to do other movies now.
Yay!
So we did 1993's Firepower because we realized we had a severe lack of Gary Daniels in our movies,
True.
and we're trying to rectify that.
But it's
Also,
the march to WrestleMania. And
Right.
so these movies might feature a wrestler
Oh, right.
in the cast.
yeah,
And this one does.
it introduces us to a wrestler.
Yes, our first appearance of said
Introducing.
wrestler.
That's his credit.
It's the Ultimate Warrior.
Who?
The Ultimate Warrior.
No, the Ultimate Warrior wasn't in this.
You mean Jim Hellwig?
Yes.
Jim Hellwig was in this, but the Ultimate Warrior wasn't.
Okay,
Fine.
quick question.
Go ahead.
What about the fact that he was later in life actually properly renamed to Warrior? Does that mean that he was in it?
Yep,
That means that
technically, yes.
Warrior was, but
Okay.
not the Ultimate
Okay.
Warrior.
Because you guys know wrestling and I don't.
True.
Yeah.
Was Ultimate Warrior ever replaced with someone else at some point?
No.
That was just like an internet rumor thing.
He came back and looked different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he got off the roids.
There were some less roids involved.
So but this is this guy,
This
the
guy.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yes.
Jim Hellwig.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Just want to make sure.
One and only.
Okay.
Except
There were a lot
Except-
of guys that
except what?
acted like Ultimate Warrior.
when Hogan went over to WCW, he brought in a guy who he called Renegade, who ran around like an idiot, like the Ultimate Warrior.
But he was not the Ultimate
He
Warrior.
was not.
Okay.
But
he was not
wanted-
Jim Hellwig.
No,
I should
he was
say.
not. But
Okay.
Hogan wanted people to think that.
Okay.
Who was
How about Hogan?
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, we're getting off track because we usually start with a plot summary.
Okay.
Let's do that. And
Wanted to get that out of the way.
Sure.
I want to know what this movie's about.
I didn't even put together the March to
yeah, that
WrestleMania thing. So
it's a theme.
thanks.
You're welcome.
Here we go. Plot summary. In the year 2007, crime has risen to an exponential rate. Once highly populated metropolises such as Los Angeles are no longer inhabitable. These cities have transferred into hell zones ruled by violent street gangs.
Hell Zone.
Well, not the whole city. Zones in the city.
I was
Small
gonna say, I
parts
don't
of-
think that's right.
yeah.
I think it's just like certain parts of the city were like, hey, get your laws and shit out of here. We're going to do our own thing.
It feels like certain parts of the city are like in Arkham City.
Yeah.
Where they're just like,
Fuck it.
yeah,
Wall
fuck it.
off.
We give up.
Yeah.
Wall it
That's
off.
District B13 idea. Just like, hey, crime's really bad here. Put a wall around it.
But apparently you can just come and go.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just, yeah. But you go in there, it's the purge.
yes.
Everywhere else, there's law.
Not in the personal freedom zone.
Not in the personal freedom.
Because they said it was originally for victimless crimes.
right.
Right.
Like prostitution, and
Prostitution
gambling and
drugs.
gang warfare.
Gang vendettas.
Gang vendettas.
Which
And drugs.
Well, I mean, I guess to be fair, I think what they're saying is you're in a gang. You're not a victim. You're choosing to be in a gang.
oh, okay.
So
Fair.
I mean,
That's fair.
you know, they're not victims. They're other gang members.
They're just like, we're not going to punish you. You guys just work it out yourselves.
Yeah.
If it involves murder,
So be it.
Yeah.
That's your personal
just,
freedom.
yeah, don't tell us about it.
Yeah.
There's a
we
good
wanna know.
chance you will not have a gang vendetta put upon you if you're not in a gang.
Correct.
Or if you're dead.
Or if you're dead. Yeah.
Yep.
Because really, the most important thing about this, and we will get to it in the summary of the movie, is that there is basically like death matches. There are
The Death Ring.
Death Ring. Yeah, it's like UFC, but to the death.
Yes.
Sometimes.
I knew we had Gary Daniels here for a reason.
And that's
Fight in the ring.
the main crime thing going on. There's a whole other
Well, they're
like,
not. That's
MacGuffin thing that they're chasing, but
they're never there to put a stop to that or anything.
not really.
They're
It's
on the
just-
hunt
it's
for
it's
the
a means to an end.
Yeah, they're on the hunt for the fake AIDS vaccine.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, the movie opens up and it's basically in the middle of a car chase. I mean, we get a little like explanation about the zones and whatnot. I think.
thought they were in the diner.
Yeah, they
first.
start in the diner first.
Oh, okay.
It's exposition.
Yeah, it's
beginning.
the exposition diner. But yeah, they're there's a newscast basically just telling you the entire plot of the movie while they just kind of sit there and talk about like, man, I guess AIDS is back. That was a good 5 years where
Well, there's been a rash of counterfeit AIDS vaccines that are killing people.
Yeah, because in this future they'd cured AIDS, but now suddenly it's coming back because counterfeit vaccine.
Someone made
Well,
a
had they
fake
cured
vaccine.
it? But like, if they'd cured it,
they
then they-
vaccinated it.
Yeah.
okay.
And now people are getting vaccinated with the wrong juice, and it's back.
Yeah, there's a fake vaccine.
Right.
Because there's plenty of money to be made on a fake vaccine.
Yes. So that's lingering in the background, but no time for that because Car Chase City.
You really don't want to get the AIDS-tism. Getting the vaccines.
No.
Yeah.
But they answer a call.
Yeah.
I guess they leave
yeah,
the diner and it's
Well, they have a little video phone, and the dispatcher lady is like, "Hey, there's a car chase happening. Go
Yeah.
help."
yeah.
Oh yeah, and she says it's the dude and the swordsman, right? The dude.
It's a
and
dude
the
like it's like he's the
Henchman of the
like
swordsman.
one of the top henchmen
Henchman
for
of the
the
swordsman,
swordsman, and
right.
that's just what they refer to him as. So yeah, car chase, and it's I don't know 8 cop cars chasing this one like Trans Am that's all
Painted like a
leopards.
zebra.
Yeah, it's a
it's
blue zebra.
blue and black zebra stripes, and everyone's just driving like an asshole.
Yes.
Like
Just
everyone
Swerving.
Weaving in and out like Shriners.
Except at like 60 miles an hour.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's shots exchanged. They kind of hint that the vehicles have gun things on them, but it's never really established. And all you really kind of ever see is like a flash out the front, and then they hear a pew noise. They're not effective.
No.
like there are apparently guns on the grills of these cars, and they just pew and don't.
I
really
thought
do
they were
anything.
firing some sort of tracker or something at first. I really
Yeah.
don't know what.
See, I thought it was like an EMP. I thought it was like Need for Speed technology where they were shooting out
could've
these
been.
EMPs and activating them, and it was jolting the car, but it didn't have any effect on Zebra car.
Yeah, I mean, because really they're just chasing them, and it should be pointed out that like this is a 1993 movie set in 2007, and they're using really shitty 90s cars, early
Yeah.
90s cars,
Yep.
including our heroes ride around in a fucking Pontiac Transport
Yeah.
Ah,
minivan.
pretty dope.
The Dustbuster Mobile.
Yeah. Like every once in a while, I still see one of those on the road. I'm like, holy shit! How did you keep that thing running, and why? Because they were shit boxes when they were brand new.
Yes,
They were easy to get.
they're cool looking shit boxes.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of cop cars, and they're just chasing them out on the road, and some cops create a roadblock, and then
the
it's
end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like cut to. I guess these guys didn't. Well, these guys and one cop car didn't see the roadblock and just hit it at full speed because it's launched the car and
Yeah.
exploded in midair. Big explosion thing.
Big
Yeah.
explosion. First car comes corkscrewing out of here, and then immediately behind it, cop car also does the same thing to the point where the cop car actually lands in front of the suspect car, or it lands on it and then rolls over.
Yeah.
But so these cars are fucked. I mean, they've blown up and they are
Oh, yeah.
fucked. But the bad guys just pop right out. They're like,
yeah.
"Aha!"
I appreciate that they do the Hong Kong style thing of let's show you every angle that we took
Yep.
of this corkscrew car going through this fireball.
Yep. So we ran 4
Yeah.
cameras, and you're going to watch every single one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the bad guys get out and just start shooting at them. To which our heroes produce smart bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they take out a couple legit, and we mentioned Gary Daniels, we mentioned Ultimate Warrior, but our actual star of the movie is Chad McQueen.
Chad McQueen,
BMFcast alum, Chad McQueen.
Yeah.
martial law.
Yeah. But yeah, he's the one that produces the smart bullet gun,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know, got some sort of convoluted programming device thumbprint thing. I don't know what the fuck
It's got
it
a
is.
switch and some buttons.
But the main thing about Chad McQueen that should be noted throughout this entire movie is he shoots fucking gangster style. He side shoots everything, and it's like, why?
In the future, they determined that shooting sideways is the way to go.
It's not.
It's not, though.
No. It's really terrible to shoot that
they rolled
way.
the dice in 1993. They were
Yeah.
like, everyone's going to be doing this in the future, huh?
Yeah,
I think they just it probably just hadn't caught on that was the shitty gangsta way of
Right.
shooting in
They made a
whatever
judgment
version
call,
of Hollywood.
and they judged wrong.
But he,
I mean, it kind of looks a little bit cool, but we all know it doesn't work.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he does that the entire movie. And yeah, smart bullet. He's like, yeah, smart bullets for the win. Yeah, all right, cool. Let's book this one guy who's not dead, and
Yeah.
because like they
Yeah,
shoot
well,
like
they shoot him, but then they have to chase him down.
Well,
So I didn't get that.
I think they shoot like 3 dudes, and then like he gets like that guy just was like, I'm out because I don't know that he got shot. It's confusing because they're all hiding behind the flaming car, and it's like you don't get a real
Oh,
good
he was running away, and that's when Gary Daniels ran up and started kickboxing his face,
right.
yeah.
and slammed him into a wall. I don't think that guy was part of the shooting. I think that was just the only guy who didn't get shot.
Right. So yeah, they rough him up a bit and then take him back to get booked, and like I don't know, they're wearing like these full body like armor things with these big crazy helmets on, and they make a point like after they put this dude in jail, they take off their helmets and they're kind of like, yeah, we got you, didn't you? Which is dumb because they've now shown their face to this guy.
And this guy's like, I'm going to remember your faces.
Yeah. To which Gary Daniels like carefully like kind of measures how far he is away from the dude,
Yeah.
and just very quickly goes tap and just bops the guy right on the nose through the bars in
Yeah.
the jail cell.
Yeah. Well, and there's a part where they're booking him too, where the guys, this guy's just flailing around, and the guys at the desk are like, "I think this guy's still resisting arrest."
Oh, yeah.
And Gary Daniels just takes his head and slams it down into the police desk and knocks him loopy. He's just, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're basically just like they're like in the locker room, like taking off all their stupid armor and everything, and call comes on, and it's like, we got the swordsman, we're bringing him in.
Yeah.
And Chief is like, fuck are they doing bringing him here? Like, why didn't they take him to, like, maximum security place or
Yeah.
whatever? It's like, shit, everybody gear up. It's right, because they bring this dude in handcuffs, and I don't understand why, but their procedure is stand at the booking desk and take the handcuffs off.
Scan their barcode.
Yeah, to which as soon as they do that, Ultimate Warriors, which he's the swordsman, it's just like, all right, fuck this shit. And because they only have like 2 cops on him, and
He wrecks them both.
he wrecks them both, and like there are really good Foley effects for the punches and stuff in this movie, which make it sound like these dudes should be dead or at least have 2 broken limbs apiece.
Well, he headbutts one dude with such force that I swear, like, the sound effect they use is just someone hitting a watermelon with a sledgehammer. It's just that somehow that guy's brain turned to goo.
Yeah, but like.
He was instantly lobotomized.
Yes.
But like the desk clerk lady, the dispatcher lady, like tosses him some sort of taser thing. They tase him, which puts like a green electric net around him, and then he's like, "All right, I stop."
Yeah.
But like the same dudes that he basically just murdered get up and take him away.
Yeah. Put him in the cell next to helper guy.
Yeah, and I don't know. They had all these cops on, and these were the only 2 guys that decided to fight him or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway, so they throw him in the cell, and
Well-
he gets his like one line in the. Oh no, he's about to get his one line.
Yeah.
In the movie, yeah. And then almost immediately, like there was a Jeep sitting outside with a battering ram, snowplow type thing on the front, and it just starts driving into the station.
Yep.
Like it just clears a path right into the station, and then this badass bus, a
Train car.
GM Futureliner.
Futureliner from the fucking 30s. Look it up. It's badass.
Yeah, it looks like a train car, but made into a bus.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's some sort of cross between a train car and like a motor coach. It's insane.
It's badass. And they roll up in that, and a whole bunch of dudes pour out and just start shooting up the police station.
Yep. As of course they slowly do the slow zoom in on Warrior's face. Or the swordsman, sorry.
Yes.
On the swordsman's face in the jail cell.
Right.
As they cut back and forth between dudes getting shot like crazy and guys firing back. And
like some dudes are just holding the cops at bay with guns, and then like 3 dudes go to rescue the swordsman, and he gets his one line in the movie, which is basically like, "Get me out of here," which means because they have these jail cells which are like finger palm or palm activated. The cops are in the database or whatever, and so the jailer cop gets shot, and the dude walks over with a shotgun and is just like, "I'll take that hand, blam!"
Yep.
And Robocop's that dude's hand right off.
Yep. And they use it on the scanner, and Ultimate Warrior goes free.
Yeah.
And the first guy who got arrested is just sitting in the cell like, "Hey,
what about me, guys?
I work for you." But they leave him behind.
Yeah. And they have this long, protracted thing where, like, the actual booking sergeant or whatever gets shot, and then the dispatch lady is, like, behind the booking desk while they're just slowly shooting closer and closer to her, while Gary Daniels and Chad McQueen and the chief are all like, "Get out of there!"
Yep. Repeatedly.
Get out of there!
Over and over.
She's just frozen until the shots eventually shoot her in the chest, and she's dead.
Chest.
Yep.
And then they're like, "Oh, she's dead. I guess we should all pop out at once and shoot the guys." And it's like,
good timing, guys.
Should lead with that maybe next time, but
She might still be alive because she was sweet on Gary Daniels.
Yeah, she was.
Not anymore.
Nope.
And then they're basically just like, the chief's like, "Wait for backup," and they're like, "Not a chance in hell," and go running out. And one of them hops on his motorcycle, or Chad McQueen jumps on his motorcycle.
No, it's Gary Daniels is on the motorcycle.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
Chad McQueen's in the transport.
Okay. But
driving back up.
But yeah, they drive and follow him, and
Gary Daniels like surveys around the train car bus. He's just trying to look for a weak spot, and he's like, "There aren't any."
Yeah.
Except
he
the tires, which
and he uses missiles, I guess,
Yeah.
that are built into the motorcycle.
Yeah.
But he keeps missing and like blowing up derelict cars on the side of the road.
Yeah, he blows up one homeless dude's home twice. Just missing. I get maybe the bus has some weird buffer around it that doesn't allow.
Also, cops with a sniper in a helicopter try to shoot at them, and they are promptly shot down by a dude with a laser sniper rifle.
Yep.
Like, not a laser sight, an actual laser.
yeah, pew pew.
Yep.
Yeah. We get helicopter chopper fireball, and
And then they laser the checkpoint between Los Angeles and the personal responsibility zone.
yep.
And drive right in. And Gary Daniels is wrecked off his bike, and so Chad McQueen pulls up, and I guess they just immediately go in after them because it's not long after we arrive at our main location, which is the death zone or the death ring.
It's really hard to tell how much time passes in between stuff because they don't like.
Well, Chad McQueen says later that the exit for this place is only 4 blocks away. So
Yeah, I just mean throughout the rest of the entire movie.
Sure.
They cut to a scene and it could be the next day or it could be 10 seconds later.
Exactly.
It's really difficult to tell.
Yep.
But yeah,
they
it's basically it's Drexel's place. He's the main bad guy in this. BMFcast alum, actually.
Drexel is?
Yeah.
What was he in?
He's at least in the Scorpion King.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's been in a
He's a
shitload
very
of movies.
recognizable.
Yeah.
He's been in 155
character
other
actor.
movies. I bet he's
Yeah.
been in something else. But yeah, like he's the guy that runs this place, and that's where you've got the death ring fighting thing. There's drugs, bar, prostitution.
Anything you want.
Yeah, there's just rooms of different things. Pleasure rooms of I don't know. There's a fucking tattoo room.
There
and,
is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
But they kind of roll in and full cop uniform with the helmets back on and everything, or just kind of walking around like, have you seen the Swordsman? Did he come in here? And everyone's just like, fuck off, cops.
Yeah.
And,
You're in the personal responsibility zone.
and they walk up to the counter and like meet our Lisa, who ends up being like the main female lead in this movie. And they're like, hey, we need some information. And she's like, I take bets. I don't give information, and basically blows them off. Yeah, and then some dudes are like, I bet you can't kill a cop. Bet you I can. And produce a gun and shoot Chad McQueen in the back, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, and then to which like Gary Daniels has like the fastest like shit. My partner's been shot, and like Travis Bickles this gun out of fucking nowhere and shoots this dude. Double taps the guy that shoots him. To which the guy that bet him that he wouldn't shoot the cop immediately produces a gun. That guy gets double tapped too. And
everyone in the place is like, oh,
yeah,
wow.
they're as nonplussed as you could possibly be about two dudes having been murdered.
Well, it's a freedom zone.
I'm sure they've
that's
seen this
true.
before.
Yeah.
Murder
It's
is
like
legal
Mos
in-
Eisley.
Yeah,
It's
he's just
like,
sorry about the mess.
yeah,
Yeah.
like whatever.
But yeah, they don't really get.
They kind
No,
of
they
watch
get-
the fights a little bit.
Yeah, they go into the back because the fights are being kind of like broadcast. So a commentator guy is talking about which fights are going on.
Mm-hmm. And the guy with a metal Phantom of the Opera mask kind of comes out and is like, hey.
Yeah.
No, he's got a fucking Kano mask. That dude,
Yeah, he's Kano.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he comes out and he's like, hey guys, I mean, this is a freedom zone. We don't really care if you cops are here, but if you're going to be here, you got to surrender your weapons. And they're like, we're leaving.
Yeah. No, so
Nah.
we'll come back later.
And that guy's just like, cool, I didn't want any trouble, so
Yeah.
I'll just stand here and watch the fights for a little bit. 'Cause
Yep.
it's fucking sweet. Two dudes trying to murder each other.
Yeah. But we learn that the fights, there are lethal and non-lethal fights, and you have to work your way up to the non-lethal ones. But
Or work way up to
or
the
sorry,
lethal
work
ones,
your way up to the lethal
Yeah.
ones. But
'Cause they're usually
during
like
the fight,
championship
at
matches.
some point, the computer broadcasts, the quote-unquote computer chooses weapons for each side, and they magically appear like attached to a post.
Well, I think they're all there. It's just they light up red when you can take them.
Oh, okay.
So they're like
Yeah.
they're surrounding the ring, and then it's just
Okay.
like, oh, you got the sword.
They're on some
Ding.
pad.
yeah,
that
and the
lights
announcer
up.
will say, like Ultimate Warrior can now choose a sword, and
Every time.
every time because his name's the Swordsman.
And other guy gets a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and there's the nerdy dude that's hacking through Friendster over there that's really doing this. I mean, he's not actually,
It's not random.
There's no
He's-
randomness,
he's
whatever.
doing it.
Because Drexel's just sitting there like, let's give him the kendo stick
Yeah.
so that he loses.
Yeah.
Except the guy with the kendo stick wins, whatever. But
But yeah, but that's where we first see Viper fighting, who's also a BMFcast alum, who was
also-
one of the henchmen in Mankillers.
Ah, yeah.
he's also the fight choreographer for the movie too.
Oh, okay.
Art Camacho.
Yeah. But
I
so
think he
they
coordinated the stuff for Rage also.
Yeah, because they were having the cops were having a little personal bet. It was like, this guy's gonna win because look, he's just flat on his feet. It looks like he's losing now, but watch.
Yeah, because Gary Daniels comes into this place and immediately is just like, I could murder everyone in here.
Yeah.
I'm the baddest motherfucker. And he's just so nonplussed by the fighting going on. It's like, fuck these guys. I could totally do
Yeah.
this.
and
but-
they do look clumsy at first,
Yeah.
and then they get better. Like it's like now he has nunchucks, and then they look kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Like this is basically the guys are like, I know how to use nunchucks, and I'm going to show you how I use them.
It's going to create a nunchuck shield around me. And just, you can't hit me. I'm
Yeah.
waving these things so fast. Oh, fuck. But they eventually leave and they go back to the captain. They're like, dude, we got to go undercover. We kept our masks on the whole time. They only saw our mouths. So we could go in undercover and, find stuff out. And at first it seems like they're going in to get the swordsman. They just couldn't find out where he was.
Yeah, but somehow the fake AIDS cure connection comes in.
I
Didn't
guess.
they found the fake AIDS on the henchman?
Yeah. Yeah, because they have a
The fake.
vial
I'm
of
sorry,
Fake-
not fake
fake
AIDS,
vaccine.
but fake vaccine.
it.
Yeah.
Right. But
Can we just call it like the Magic Johnson? We need an easier name for the AIDS vaccine.
no.
Okay,
No.
all right.
Fake AIDS
I'll just
vaccine
take
is
this flicker
fine.
away.
Was
here.
it too soon?
No, I would argue that
It's been
he's got the
26
real
years.
cure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah, that's what
There's
I mean.
nothing
He got
fake
the
about it.
vaccine
Yeah.
because, yeah. But anyway, yes, the vaccine. They found it, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna find it there."
So
and of
let's-
course, Chad McQueen's like, "I got Nin already," and they're like, "Who?" He's like, "The chick that talked to me for 2 seconds and said, I don't take bets."
She might know something.
Yeah,
I think I could work with this.
She's got moxie. I like her.
But
Yeah.
so they're the captain's like, yeah, all right, whatever, just don't get killed.
yep.
And so Chad McQueen goes home, and just man, right on cue, 90s wife shows up, who is just
Wettest blanket.
like, you were working, you are earning a living instead of spending time with us.
It's a movie from the 90s.
You piece
if you
of
have a
shit.
job and you have a child, you are a horrible person for having a job.
Yep.
All time should be spent with your child.
Yeah.
You fuck.
And he's like, I was a cop when we got married. I don't understand where this is coming from.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. I'm still paying bills.
He's like, look, I'm trying to get a promotion so that it can be at a desk and be home at a normal hour, you know?
And she's just like, fuck, just get away from me. Just go away.
Just go do your thing.
Yeah. So they go to the club and are immediately just like, welcome, brothers, to you may fight now.
Yeah, I don't even know how they get signed up. But
They're just in the locker
they're
room,
signed up
just like,
and-
here's your lockers.
yeah, and there's a guy with an eye patch who's kind of like I don't know if he's like the coordinator or what, but
He's the, yeah.
His credit is he's the booking officer. No, wait,
No.
never mind.
No.
I was drunk when I looked at that. I figured like booking the fights. That's where my dumb brain went. Never mind.
Nope. But yeah, he's like showing them where their
No,
lockers
he's
are.
chief handler.
Chief handler.
Sure. I think his first name was Chief.
Chief.
And his last name was Handler. I don't know.
Chief handler.
But yeah, that's Chief Handler.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like, here's your lockers,
Yeah,
you've
he's
seen
kinda
the
like
fights.
Yeah, he's kind of like the HR department. Mm-hmm. He's like, here's your orientation. Don't get killed until it's a lethal fight.
Yeah.
Basically the guys on the low rung, on the non-lethal, you got to win a few fights before we'll move you up to the lethal. The lethal is where the real money is.
Yep. And like Chad McQueen instantly bonds with Viper in a creepy way. He's just It's just like, hey, you're going to be my friend now.
You're the first person I saw here. We're friends forever.
I'm going to touch you uncomfortably and hang out on you, and we will be friends. How about that? And Viper's like, yeah, buddy, that'll be great. You can spot me when I work out.
And we established that Viper's just there for the money. Like, he's got a family.
He's
to
got a
support,
family.
and
Yep.
this is
why Chad McQueen bonds with him. He's like, I got a family. And we're like, oh, man, both you fuckers are dead.
You got a family, too? We should hang out.
I did not know that you had a family.
So it's like the first round of fights, and Gary Daniels goes out there, and he's just so like, I'm awesome, and whoever's going to come in here is shit. So I guess I'll give him a shot for a few seconds, and then nah. And Chad McQueen has his fight, and Chad McQueen,
He starts to get his ass whipped.
he
He does okay. It sort of.
Well, they pick names. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Because Gary Daniels' character's actual name is Sledge.
it's like Eric Sledge.
Yeah, how did we not mention that until now? Like, it's
He hadn't really said it.
Yeah.
But yeah, his name was like Frank Sledge.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Nick Sledge.
Nick Sledge.
he cleverly...
That's a goddamn good name.
It is, yeah.
Nick Sledge.
Yeah, but when they're picking names, of course, he's like, call me the Hammer.
Yeah.
Ha, because Sledge? Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait, you don't know that.
Yeah. And Chad
I'm undercover.
McQueen's like, I don't care. Call me Pussycat.
Pussycat.
And they're like, that's not going to go over well.
No,
Dude.
you're going to be Alley Cat, much tougher. And it's
Yeah.
like, Christ.
They should have just called him the Pillsbury Doughboy because, like, Gary Daniels is fucking jacked in this movie.
Ripped
He is
and
like
oiled and ready to
he
go.
is all 0.1% body fat, and then Chad McQueen
Is
looks
the other
like
99.9%.
he looks like his activity is playing for the softball league and maybe doing some keg stands. He's just the doughiest little bitch. But they send Gary Daniels out, and Gary Daniels just destroys the guy that he fights against.
Yep.
Plenty of spin kicks, but Chad McQueen goes out and also Gary
sucks.
Daniels refuses to put on the blue shirt that
Right.
they gave him. But Chad McQueen's like, not give me the blue shirt, man.
I should cover this up.
I should
The people don't want to see this.
I should cover up my complete lack of muscle tone.
But in the Chad McQueen fight, the weapons come out, and Chad McQueen gets a stick, and he uses it well. To which Drexel is like very suspicious of this.
He's like, you know how to use a stick.
Where'd you have stick trading? And he's just like, I just
Well, that came out.
learned
All right.
it.
So Chad McQueen sucks. Like, until the weapons come out, like, he hand to hand, he gets his ass.
Oh,
kicked
he's
throughout
terrible,
the entire
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, he telegraphs all his punches.
He's really
Just-
only good with the stick and shield.
Right.
That's all he's good with.
Well,
in
the
this
first time he had just the stick, but the reason it came out that Drexel asked him, "Are you good with a stick?" is because like he comes out of his fight and starts hitting on Lisa again.
Yep.
And she's just like, "Look, not interested. I tried to date a fighter once. Blah blah blah. Like, no, just no. Leave me alone." And Drexel, comes out and is like, "What are you doing talking to her? Like, I see you're good with a stick. Why don't you leave your stick in the ring and
Yeah.
not try to practice it out
Nowhere
here?"
else will you produce your stick. Now get out. Yeah.
I do like that Chad McQueen's like, that's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
you're
give it. I gotta give it to you.
Stick, like, stick
Oh,
with my
But
penis.
also, the entire time that conversation is happening, fucking Warrior is standing right next to them,
Yeah.
wearing a goddamn Skeletor cape.
Yep.
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 Complete with like exaggerated shoulder things.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, it's
Maniacal.
immediately it makes you start to question, wait, why the fuck are they there? Because at first it seemed like we got to get the swordsman, but like the first night they're there, the swordsman just walks right by him and is like, "Sup?"
No, he laughs at him.
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, he's done with lines for the movie. Like
Yes, no more.
He has no more lines. His
Yeah.
lines are ah or
Yes. Yeah. But so then you're just like, oh, so they've got to find the fake vaccine. They're just why are they fighting so much? What?
I thought they said I thought there was something about the fake AIDS vaccine that they were like, that's what we're going to go for. We think it's going through the swordsman.
Right.
So,
but it's basically
we saw where the swordsman went. We got to go there.
It's all Chad McQueen who vouched for what they could do by saying, "I can get that girl Lisa to give us information."
But that wasn't until they came back all beaten up and stuff.
Okay,
because he just said, "We think the swordsman's in this club." Or the swordsman's in the freedom zone, and we have to go. Yeah, the swordsman's in the freedom zone is like
somewhere that's a war code word that just set off some battle.
But it's not entirely clear. Like maybe by running the fake vaccine, they're also taking in the real vaccine and keeping it.
Maybe,
like
I don't know.
You know,
they're watering it down.
Apparently,
or something.
the vaccine is worth a lot of money. So
it's the vaccine is just this green liquid. I don't understand why they would have to manufacture some sort of fake vaccine if they just put green food coloring in water and said, "Here's the vaccine."
Oh, they said it's nearly identical to the real
it's just
vaccine.
missing the key ingredient.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah, the key enzyme.
And it's apparently really difficult to tell. So that's why they manufacture it, so they can make a good fake so that they can fool people and make money, I assume.
Whatever.
But they skip over a lot of stuff in this movie. Right. They'll just from one scene to the next, they will make up shit that didn't happen on screen. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, Lisa told me all about the swordsman and his vaccine shit."
It honestly feels like when they were filming, they were just like, "Why are we here?
Yeah,
like why are we doing this? If swordsman was over there and like, AIDS vaccine, yeah, just talk about that."
Yeah, because, I mean, this movie is just an excuse to show every single fight. Whenever one starts, it's start to finish, show the fight.
Because this movie is dedicated to not going more than 2 minutes without somebody getting kicked or shot.
Right.
Dedicated.
Which you have to admire. That's a good strategy, but the one stretch of 2 minutes where there isn't kicking or shooting is when Chad McQueen goes home.
Yeah, after his first fight.
He's got a bruise on his face. And he's playing Super Nintendo with his kid on their weird
swirly couch. It's cool.
Their weird Art Deco couch.
And it should be pointed out that their kid is young Steve Jobs.
Yes.
Dude is wearing a pair of blue jeans and a black turtleneck.
Yeah.
And dead-eyed. Just like, I'm playing Super Nintendo. I am a kid actor.
And wife comes in and is just like, "What do you think you're doing? Look at you. You're playing with our son. Look at you."
This was the woman who berated him for not spending time with his son, and then gets so pissed off at him because he's spending time with his son.
I mean, he's got one bruise on his face. He could get that being a cop.
I love that she says, "You come in smelling like death."
Yeah, like death.
Fights.
And he's just like, "Whoa, hold on." And then she's like, "Come on, little Steve Jobs, we're leaving."
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, fuck you. They could not even come up with a human character for his wife. It instant 90s stereotype for anything. It's just like, whatever you're doing is wrong.
To the point, it's like, why even write him having a wife?
Yeah.
Like, if you want him to end up with Lisa, like...
there's no problem.
There's no point in having the wife at all.
No.
Like...
They have to have somebody later.
No,
it
they
really
don't.
doesn't.
No, they don't.
It doesn't change much.
No.
No. Yeah. Whatever. But
yeah. So they have a lot more fights.
Yes, they do.
There are a lot of fights. Gary Daniels beats the hell out of some people. Chad McQueen inexplicably beats the hell out of some people.
Like one more guy, I think.
I think we only see him fight like 3 times, maybe.
Yeah. Well, because he fights that dude from the Apple, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But
fights Mr. Bim.
There's a Viper at one point is working out and is just starting to spill the beans to Chad McQueen, which is my favorite show.
Well, yeah, because
Welcome to Spill the Beans with Chad McQueen. I'm your host, Chuckles.
but yeah, he's like, you guys aren't here for the money. You're here for something else.
He's like, yeah, well, you know. And Viper's basically like, okay, look, this is what I know. This is everything I know. Oh, we got interrupted.
Oh, my fight's starting? Cool.
Immediately.
Because
it's just like
called up.
Yeah, it's like you got a championship fight. The other guy's not in the fight. Go. And
so we had somebody drop out. You've just been promoted to a championship fight.
And Chad McQueen,
which is a lethal fight.
He doesn't even say anything like, hey, finish your sentence. It's just, okay, bro, good luck. I'll talk to you after you murder the guy in the ring.
Well, he tries to talk him out of it. He's like, no, you don't have to do that. And he's like, dude, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm I'm here to die for money.
Yeah.
Inexplicably.
He tries to talk about him out of it for about 10 seconds and then realize he's so bro in love with this guy. He's like,
Yep.
oh, he's going to win.
Yeah.
I'll just talk to him afterwards.
Right.
Chief Handler's like, come on,
Yeah.
time to die.
And so they have their fight, but this time Computer Nerd is ordered by Drexel to not release Viper's weapon. So Viper goes to get his thing off the wall. Other guy has a hatchet and just chucks his hatchet right into Viper's back.
Well, little sickle things. Those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so...
Yeah. And then the
Viper's dead.
announcer's like, "Oh, that's a sad end to
Yeah.
a promising career for Viper."
Oh, well. Those of you who bet against
That was
him.
a sickle bird.
The announcer, like, he's super enthusiastic, but he gives things the wrong name a lot.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they just gave him a script and had him in the booth and we're like, all right, here you go. Here's your
Oh, yeah, that guy was on set.
amount of cocaine. Have fun.
That guy is, well, he was Freddie Boom Boom Washington on Welcome Back, Kotter, but
The
he's
announcer?
Yeah, but he is a PM Entertainment alum.
Okay.
So he has starred and directed in many of PM Entertainment's fine motion pictures. So this was just like, hey, you're in the building. Come record these few lines of dialogue for us. So
Yeah. But so Viper's dead. And they're like, "Man."
This shit just got real.
yeah,
And is that when they go back and the captain's like, "I'm taking you off the case."
I
for
think
good.
so.
And they're like, "No,
Yes.
you're not."
Yeah, and that's when he's like, Lisa, she's about to talk. Like, I
Right.
I
Even
promise.
though she is absoletely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was that because
In no way.
they had their little like talk on the breezeway where
Smoke break, yeah.
she was like, there's this breezeway between the two buildings, and she's just standing there, and Chad McQueen kind of walks out like, "Hey, sup?" And she's like, "Yeah, I like to come out here and be alone." And he's like, "Cool," and then like leans down. It's like,
Yeah, it seems like a nice place to do it.
yeah,
yeah, I'll just be here alone with you.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, and she says, her boyfriend was killed in the ring. That's why she doesn't talk to any guys.
Died the same way. His weapon didn't release.
Yeah.
Plus, doesn't she have? Is this when she has the bruise on her face? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what started it. Because like he's like, "Drexel, did he do this?" And he's like, "Man, why don't you just get out of here? You can get out of the zone." She's like, "Where would I go? What would I do?"
He's like, the exit is literally 4 blocks away.
Yeah.
You could go do anything. And she just acts like, I can't do anything in the real world. There's no jobs like this.
I would have to take personal responsibility outside the personal responsibilities.
I don't want to be a waitress. I want to take bets. I've learned this whole repertoire of saying I'm not a waitress. So she has no real definable skills in the real world.
You could be a hostess,
But he
They're not
does
waitresses.
at least tell her, "Listen, I'm married and I have a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to hit on you."
Yet.
Kinda, even though I'm basically hitting on you.
I think he's more says that he has a kid.
No, he
mentions
says
his
he-
wife.
he mentions his wife.
Well, yeah, but
I have a wife, but,
because-
you know...
He
mentions
mentions, yeah,
him.
I was kind of at this point. I was like, all right, they've made it clear the dude's married.
Yeah.
Yet, like, why didn't they just have Gary Daniels be the one sidling up to this
Because
chick?
Gary Daniels is Australian.
Yeah, this-
Or whatever.
accurate. No, or New Zealand. One of the,
See, sure.
he's a fucking gateway.
yeah. And also, I guess in the context of the movie, is all he would give a shit about is having sex with her.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's been very clearly established that he was very disappointed that the AIDS virus was back.
Yes.
Maybe that would have been the lady he settled down with. You never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know because nobody bothered to write anything for
No.
this movie.
No.
But yeah, but so they've had this conversation. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm on the verge. She's gonna spill the beans.
Right.
But
And he's like, "Oh, it's personal now. That's why I have to do it." And the chief's like, "You dumb motherfucker. That's why you should get this. Don't do this."
Yeah.
But for the second time, the chief just gives in immediately.
He's like, you get results.
All right.
well, this is the point where he also gives them the quote that we used for the opening of the show,
Oh yes, which I have already
where he
forgotten.
sees the both of them and he's just like, "You two look like fried shit."
Get some sleep.
get
You
some
two
sleep.
look like fried piece of shit.
Yeah. And it's at this point that the other dude in jail finally gets out.
Yeah, like
He
one
had
of
been-
his henchmen
or they're transferring
organized
him somewhere.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
That-
'Cause
yes.
they shoot up the police van and get
Yeah.
him out.
Yeah, they get him out,
And
and,
he goes-
he
he
immediately
goes-
goes to the
yeah.
front, types in the computer, and finds Chad McQueen's address.
He's like, I know this guy.
Because that's the thing that they just have on every computer accessible.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah,
You
knock
need-
list.
Yeah.
Right.
And he just, he
Alexa just heard us say computer.
oh, yeah. She's been doing that several times.
Yeah.
But So yeah, that guy goes to Chad McQueen's house.
with a box of flowers,
Yes.
Yes,
dressed like a delivery man.
right. And then
Yeah,
Terminator 2's her.
Well, conveniently, she sent the kid away to grandma's house or whatever, and is just talking on an '80s StarTAC phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what was that? Oh, I guess it's nothing. I probably shouldn't be worried.
Or investigate,
But, yeah.
or hang up the phone.
My cop husband hasn't been home at all. He might be undercover. It's
and I
fine.
hate him.
And then like bad guy's just literally standing there and he's like, I've got a message from your husband.
Yeah.
From your
I love that. I've got a message for your husband. Okay, you're dead, so
Yeah,
you can't.
deliver it.
Well, I think that is
This
the
line,
message.
I know,
this line
but-
of dialogue is for the
Yeah.
audience.
Yes. It's the famous. No one else will hear this.
Well, the person on the other line did. The grandma probably called.
Oh,
This is for my assassin sizzle.
message. What was the message?
Yeah,
Is my daughter okay?
yeah,
It's for the assassin sizzle reel.
right. But the guy who got out also, he goes back to the death ring and goes to see Drexel, and
Yeah.
he's just like, hey, that other guy's a cop too.
Because he recognizes Gary Daniels
Yeah.
immediately.
It's like, well,
on
that
the, on
guy.
the computer. And so like, oh well, we can take care
We'll
of that.
take care of this.
Like I love that it's like,
Okay.
the fuck, Alexa.
What are you picking up?
She's telling us the weather.
Did she just order him something?
Probably.
No, it was weather.
Box of dildos.
Now ordering giant box of dildos.
Thanks, Alexa.
Now reordering giant box of dildos. Sorry, I had to make the joke better.
You already have a box of dildos on the
you
way. Are you sure?
This is so soon.
What happened to the old box? They have a lifetime guarantee.
By the way, your 55-gallon drum of lube will be delivered tomorrow.
White glove delivery.
Oh,
Not for long.
More like latex
glove.
glove delivery. Am I right? Anyway,
You're right.
I'm so right.
Side
were
side to this because they're about to kill Gary Daniels in the ring because they know now. But
Yeah, they move quick.
Chad McQueen's like having a conversation. Well, he identifies him first because he's about to go in the ring and he's like, next fighter. Wait, I know that. That's one of the cops that arrested me. And Chad McQueen's over chatting up Lisa again. Kind of like about to get some information. She's like warehouse right on the edge of the zone. Da da da. And I think he overhears simultaneous while talking to her that Gary Daniels is about to be in a fight. So he's like, oh, I got to go watch my friend.
well, it's supposed to be a normal, non-lethal fight, but
Yeah,
then
I think he's about to fight the Apple dude as well.
But then Drexel's like, Swordsman, go take care of this. And so they bump it up to a lethal fight, and Swordsman comes out and makes the guy from the Apple go away.
Well, an announcer guy's like, what's this?
Yeah.
The swordsman here? And it's a championship match? What?
That's like when the GM on Raw Wrestling comes out and
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, we're making this a championship match.
Right.
You're not fighting.
By God, it's the swordsman's music.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyway, and they start fighting, and
Yeah, I also love how the swordsman just taps the Apple guy on the shoulder, and he's like,
get out.
yeah,
Tag out.
Yeah,
It's
I
the tag
think
rules.
you're done here, guy. You don't have to die tonight.
Yep.
But
And they fight for a bit.
Hand to hand, and then,
Yeah.
of course, the
Swordsman
weapon.
gets a sword.
Yeah.
Oh,
always.
wow.
Surprise,
Amazing.
surprise.
It's so random, this computer.
and Gary Daniels gets a stick
Yes.
that he never gets to pick up.
Well, and suddenly, no,
No, they basically zap. They basically turn up the juice.
Yeah, they-
on the fencing around. The
Yeah,
thing.
it's an electrified fence.
yeah.
And
Ultimate Warrior just kind of shoves him gently into it, which totally, buzzes him to where he's just like, and on his knees.
yeah.
And Swordsman just goes over with his sword and chops his head off.
Yep.
That's which the announcer's like, oh, death or win by decapitation.
Yeah.
As Warrior's staying there with the sword in one hand and
Yeah.
the freaking severed head in the other.
but meanwhile they've locked Chad in the
The ready room, the
in the ready room, in the
whatever,
locker room,
Right.
where they only use one locker.
And he's only all you ever see him do is look out through like this projection booth window.
Well,
Right.
the best part is like when he goes to try the door and he's like pushing it, kicking it, and it's clearly got a pull handle on it.
Yep.
I mean, it's like,
We went to the Midvale School for the Gifted.
yeah, I get that it's probably locked, but at least
Yeah, give it a pull.
Go the right way.
Right.
You can actually lock the door. It's fine.
But it's okay. He gets out because
he hucks a whole like barbell, like a bench press bar
Yep.
with weights and everything through the window, and then leaps out of it.
Yes.
And then himself through the window.
Yes. And then
Just starts shooting
he
dudes.
produces a gun. I don't guess it was his.
He took a gun off of somebody.
Is that what it
I
was? Okay.
thought. Maybe
but
they
like
did.
he's basically just like, I got to get the fuck out of here right now. Not like I got to get the ring because there's obviously nothing I can do there.
Yep.
It's just I need to get the fuck out now.
He could
And
have shot Jim Hellwig in the face.
Could
He
have.
could have, I suppose,
But that's not why they're there.
no. But he's just like trying to get out and has to shoot a couple dudes that come at him,
Yep.
like guards or whatever.
Yeah, like two
And-
dudes.
And then Eye Patch guy shows up and is just like, go on, get out of here.
Yeah,
Yes,
he knocks
punk
out
kid.
one guy that's about to shoot
Yeah.
Chad.
And I don't know why this guy has any affection for him whatsoever.
He's suddenly taken a turn, like with no indication.
He's
that-
just like, these aren't the rules. I didn't sign up for this.
I got the impression he was a former fighter, but it's like if you do the math, these hell zones have only been around for 8 years.
Yeah.
It probably took him at least a year to like get to the point where it's like, you know what we should have is fucking like lethal UFC. Let's
Yeah.
fucking do
Yeah.
that.
UFC to the death,
Yeah.
son.
But I don't know. They paint it like he's got some respect because he's an ex-fighter, but it's like it doesn't make sense with the timeline.
It doesn't, and nothing comes from it either.
Right, no.
It's just you may
Yeah.
leave, and he does. But the best part about this is Chad McQueen running out through the bar to get out the exit door, and as he enters the bar, he fires off a warning shot, which is basically like, everyone get the fuck out, and no one moves.
Not a muscle.
Just everyone is just not even paying
They
attention.
barely turn around. They're just like, did somebody get shot? Oh, you shot the ceiling? Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's the zone of personal responsibility. They're like, hey, that's not my responsibility.
But yes.
They do not tread on him.
No. But
And he goes home.
he goes home where the cops are.
and the cop's like, you might want to talk to the chief first.
Well, actually, he's like, dude,
Yeah. Dude.
this guy had like no negotiating skills, whatever. Like, you know, start to bring him down because like this guy's 20 feet away from his wife, sitting in the middle of the lobby, with a sheet on her because she's dead. So when she looks and it's just like, I am both
They're
sad.
in no hurry
I am
to-
both sad and relieved. Like the look he gives is kind of like
Finally,
He's like,
I'm gonna get some again.
Yeah.
like
Well,
It's
and
been
also,
I
6
guess-
years.
shit,
also,
I mean,
I can do my job without catching shit for it.
Yep.
I mean, it sucks because I mean, death is not what I wanted, but
Yeah, I
no
mean-
alimony.
He's like, I did marry her, so
Yeah.
there were good things,
yeah,
but
but yeah,
at least he's got the voice of a 9-year-old.
He's
and,
over
you know,
real quick. Like as soon
Yeah.
as he drops the sheet, he's like, "All right, done with that."
Back
Yeah,
to work.
yeah.
The thing
And
that I
the-
actually love.
Oh, is
Well,
that
the chief- the
is that
chief's
sheet
like-
wet with your own blood?
Yeah.
How appropriate.
Yeah, but the chief's like, I can't let you go back there. He's like, hell, you're not letting me back there. They took my wife. They took my partner. You think I don't want to get them? And he's like, I just don't want to see you get killed.
Like, don't come then.
Yeah.
He's like,
Don't watch
You can
them."
have my badge, but I'm going to go take care of this.
Yeah.
Gotta watch your badge, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I just want to see you alive.
I really was hoping the chief was be like, I just want to see you alive, which is why I've got a big bag of guns and let's go.
I'm
Right.
coming with you.
Nope.
That's a perfect time for a suiting up montage.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Nope.
Yeah. No.
And bring the old chief,
Movie-
dude, 'cause that'd be awesome.
Listen, that's 2 minutes where somebody's not getting kicked or shot.
That's true.
You could do that in 2 minutes. You could have him kick somebody on the way
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
to the montage.
But
Kicking somebody on the way.
really,
to
I
the
mean,
montage.
at this point, Drexel is like, I know shit's down, like they're coming for us, so clean out the place because everyone's gone, and let's all get to the lab, which he knows where that is. And does he get a call from him? Like, oh no, that's where he gets all the way to the place.
And he just walks into the middle of
It's
the ring
fucking
for
stupid.
no reason.
The whole place is abandoned.
Yep.
And he goes straight into the middle of the death ring, which
Which only has one entrance.
one entrance, and they can electrify the walls.
Yep.
So if someone snaps the door behind you, you're kind of trapped.
Yep.
Fuck. But whatever.
However-
he walks in the middle just to get a video message from Drexel. Is like, sorry for the recording, but I had to get out of there, and I've got a special someone with me. Look, it's Lisa.
Yeah, because they had watched video of her giving
Right.
Chad McQueen a kiss on the cheek.
That's right,
and-
yeah.
They're like,
And they-
well, you're sweet on her.
Well, that
So
and
now
he's
we
probably
have it.
like she was whispering in his ear.
Sure.
It's like, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's basically just like, hey, let's go to the warehouse where.
Well, guy who killed his wife shows up
yeah,
to shoot him in the back. To which he pops up and shoots that dude 3 times in the chest and goes, new new equipment, asshole.
Yeah, he pulls off his bulletproof armor and throws it down on the guy.
Well, because the dude shot him with the laser rifle. That's
Yeah.
what it was. And
Yeah.
he didn't fucking upgrade to the laser rifle.
No, he did not, because
left
he's
it behind.
dumb.
He's not a good hero. He's a bad hero.
The batteries were dead.
The hero of this movie died.
I'm sure he checked. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who should have been the hero, yes,
Yes.
is dead.
But
yeah.
they find the lab.
And he, like, sort of breaks up the lab and shoots his few dudes down there. Like, he throat punches some lady who was just walking out the door.
Yeah.
I better get out of here, Punch.
He also has like a little crossbow thing that he catches some dude right in the trachea.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah, he bolts that guy.
Yeah.
That man. Bolt. that man, colon.
That man
Bolt.
bolted.
Yeah, and this just leads to going up on the roof, where Drexel has Lisa, and he's just like, you won't.
He's like, you're pretty good in the ring. How about one last match?
yeah, and just like, look over there.
And the
Hey,
stakes are Lisa.
It's the swordsman. Shocker.
Oh my goodness.
He was there before. He was just invisible.
And he proceeds to beat Chad McQueen's ass.
Yes. Deservingly so.
Almost does his actual Ultimate Warrior finishing move, which is full body press, lift the guy up.
Yeah.
And then you're just supposed to drop him, but they cut away before he does that, and you just see a Chad McQueen person of
Getting
some
tossed.
type landing on the ground.
A chump double, if you will.
And so Swordsman has then produced his sword
Man.
and is going to just run full speed at Chad McQueen like an idiot. And Chad McQueen has positioned himself in front of the exposed electrical panel
Of
that is
course.
on the wall of every action movie wherever. And Ultimate Warrior just stabs that instead, and some cartoon bolts and lightning effects surround him.
And now that man is bolted.
And then he dies. He doesn't explode or anything, which would have
No.
been cool. He's just
he just gives
dead.
one last yell.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then our head bad guy's like, well, you still lose.
Yeah. I'm still here with the girl. Yeah.
Chad McQueen is able to throw the swordsman's sword, which is somehow not electrified anymore.
No, it's fine.
Well, it fell out. It fell out of the
Yeah,
panel.
okay.
Yeah, he just whips it right at that guy.
Yeah, right through that guy's
The guy's
chest.
just like, wait, I didn't plan for this.
Yeah.
He also didn't plan to fall through the skylight, which he does.
He does, yes.
Lands on the
Yeah.
big
He
table
basically
full
gets
of...
kicked off
Yeah.
the sword by Chad McQueen.
Yeah. But it lands on the big table full of fake AIDS medicine. And
Yep.
they're like, all right, let's both get out of the zone now. Kiss and...
Freeze frame.
They don't even really kiss.
No,
they
they
just
just
snuggle.
nuzzle.
real
They kinda
good.
nuzzle,
They
yeah.
nuzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's
It was too soon.
Fucking loser.
Was it?
It was too
I
soon.
don't think it was.
It was probably too soon for Lisa.
He was ready months ago.
Yeah,
She
he-
still didn't want to date a fighter. She actually friend zoned him in the freedom zone.
Right.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
the movie.
That's firepower.
Yeah. The power of fire.
Now we rate it.
Yep.
How are them fights, by the way? Like, overall fight quality on this movie.
The fights are better than the gun stuff. Like, it's interesting how they understand how to shoot a fight sequence as far as like hand to hand.
Yeah.
But when they're trying to shoot guys shooting at each other, the editing is haphazard, bad.
There's a lot of dudes like looking like they're throwing the bullets out of the guns. That no one is handling guns properly.
No.
But that's not what this movie is. This movie is
No.
a fighting movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just interesting that they handle the fights fairly well, but everything else, like even the car chase stuff, is like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, the car chase stuff is some of the worst that, like...
Yeah, it's just like missing a scene in each of them.
Yeah, it's not that it's like... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to move on to something else. But
Oh, it's not that it's like shot badly or like just it's just the cars going back and forth, like weaving back and forth like lunatics is really, really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just
But it looks
edited
okay.
poorly.
yeah, the other like visual thing that this movie does that's very annoying and it's never explained, and it starts in the diner and doesn't.
Yeah.
Luckily, it doesn't happen throughout the entire movie, but there are points where there's just like a flashbulb going off.
A
Like-
blue one.
I think something happened to the print at the lab
Maybe.
because they go when this it looks like police lights every so often, but it's happening in places where there shouldn't be.
Right.
but they add a sound effect to it each time, and I think they're trying to make it look like it was a stylistic choice. I think the film got fucked up.
It makes it look like a shitty porn where they're shooting the photos at the same time.
Yeah, I think they did some. I think at some point this got fucked up.
Yeah,
and they were just like, we got to come up with a way to save it.
It doesn't happen throughout the whole movie, but it's annoying as fuck.
It's only 2 or 3 scenes.
It's only I think it's only 2 scenes, but I thought they were going to do something with that. I thought it was going to be like a detective-y thing, like his detective vision was going off. Because you know shit was about to go down in the diner.
Well, young Steve Jobs has like half detective vision now.
Yes,
right.
He's got
hat orphan.
Yeah,
yeah. I'll go ahead and rate it.
All right.
I'm gonna give it 1 jocks. I like the idea of this movie. I think that there is a premise here that is good. I think that the end of that car chase is pretty damn awesome, even though it makes fucking no sense whatsoever. Anytime you can fire a car out of a catapult and send it across a road is okay by me. I just think there's a lot of fights in this, and they are decently choreographed, but this movie never seems to have a like fist pumping moment, a thing where you're just like, oh my god, yes, that just happened. It's just the fights are competent and the plot is almost there and all the pieces vaguely come together at the end, but there's no through line. There's nothing that makes any sense here. It's fine. It's better than, stuff we've seen like Man Killers and stuff like that where literally almost nothing happens. But I don't know, by like the 18th fight, I was just like, we're not going to see anything new here, are we? And we don't. So, I don't know. I'm not saying it needed less fights. It just needed, Rage had a bunch of moments in it where you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that. It has a clue, but for whatever reason, this studio probably has like A, B, and C tier teams, and this just wasn't one of the top ones. So, yeah, I think people should watch it, but it's not high on a list. So, 1 jocks.
Well, I think it's a little higher on the list than that. I guess I'll get my peeves about the movie out of the way. Yeah, the main driving force that gets them there is very confusing and not really fleshed out. But when it's simply like, hey, we're undercover and it's, kumite bullshit fighting ring thing, I'm kind of great with that. And the car explosion thing at the beginning, whilst it makes no sense, was awesome. And I kind of just enjoyed this movie, I think, more. I'm going to give it 3 jocks, actually. It's I actually think it's fairly entertaining. My biggest thing is Chad McQueen is not so much an action star, especially in this shape. And I just think about, like, in my head, I was like, man, Gary Daniels is awesome. Who would be cooler as his partner? Like, I mean, first off, just make Gary Daniels the main guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like, if you had a better, competent fighter, like, I know he was, like, getting to a peak instead of, like, where he got later, but I was like, man, if you got, like, Mark Dacascos or something in this.
Yes.
Like, I mean, this time period, he was like, that was, I'm only a strong double dragon. Like, I'm big money right now, but...
I will counterpoint that with, if you make Gary Daniels the star, then your other dude shouldn't be as good a fighter.
Sure.
He should be a bit of a schlub.
But
that gives them, like, that allows them to put the swordsman in a fight with him and make it really unfair. Instead of, like, the best fighter is put up against the swordsman, he should probably have a fighting chance.
Right.
It shouldn't be by accident that the main star wins the fight against.
I mean, you could easily just flip-flop the two. I mean, spots. Chad McQueen is just, like, so unconvincing at it all that, like, it doesn't even make sense that he made it as far as he did. I know he's fighting non-lethal fights, but I mean, I feel like it should have been like fight 1 is like, well, maybe you got lucky with the stick, but fight 2 would be like, oh, come on, like,
yeah, he shouldn't have won all those fights,
right. But I mean, still, overall, it's like, other than propping up the wrong star of the movie, I still enjoyed it pretty significantly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree it's 3 jocks. I also agree on Chad McQueen. I mean, I think about martial law where the whole time I spent going, man, I wish this was about Cynthia Rothrock. And this movie as well, you're like, man, I wish this was about Gary Daniels.
Yeah.
Because he's just having so much more fun in the
it's
entire thing.
Guys, he's not his dad. He's not that interesting.
Yeah. Yep. But there's, there's just so much stuff in the periphery of this movie that's great. Like the announcer, when the professor, we didn't even talk about that fight, but when the swordsman kills the professor, they're like, he's not going to be teaching anything anymore. There's just a lot of just people having fun with stuff. Even though I can't stand the editing of any of the gun or car scenes, though the fireball corkscrew thing was pretty sweet. And there's just, there's a lot of fun stuff here, I think.
Oh, and good chief.
Yeah, the chief is pretty damn good too.
It's been a while since we had good.
And he's having and he almost has an early freak out when he finds out they're bringing Ultimate Warrior there. He's like, "What?" So yeah. I think it's a 3. It's a low 3 though. Like it's
I was between 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's decent, but there's there's obviously a lot better stuff out there. And if you want your Gary Daniels fix, Rage is way better than this.
Absolutely.
I think I'm going to go 2 on this. I'm going to split the difference a little bit. That corkscrew fireball is almost worth 1 jocks by itself, and then the rest of the movie is worth probably 1.1 jocks. The pacing is a real mess. The whole, the idea of them finding, just sort of jumping to conclusions all over the place without anything attaching, and I can follow a story, sure, but when they show the entirety of someone's interaction with someone else, and then in the next scene they say, well, she told me this and it didn't happen, it's kind of annoying. But the fights are good. Gary Daniels needs more. I really think if they flipped Gary Daniels and Chad McQueen in this, that makes this a 3 or 4 jocks movie easily. And honestly, they got to use somebody besides Jim Hellwig, because we didn't really talk about him, and I'm not the biggest fan of him as a person or a wrestler. But man, is he shitty. The fights that don't have him in them are pretty good. The fights that have him in them are bad.
Yeah.
and that drags the overall like fight rating of this movie way down. Like, yeah, when they make him fight a guy who knows how to sword fight and he's trying to pretend to sword fight, it's like,
oh, it's terrible. It's that same like 4 moves stage fighting thing that anybody can learn in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Like when he's just wrecking dudes, like when he's wrecking those deputies at the beginning, that's good because it's just
okay.
It's just rubes against a guy who's big and jacked.
Sure.
But against anyone else who has a clue, he just comes off like he knows 2 moves, which is the Ultimate Warrior's repertoire.
That's true. But even fighting against the rubes, he does that, like, he just stands there and goes, ah, and then hits them.
Yes.
And it just doesn't look good. Like, I don't want to just pile on a dead guy, but it's just not good.
It's not great.
It's
they took a chance on the guy. There's a reason he didn't do a lot of movies.
I guess it probably wasn't expensive to have Jim Hellwig in your movie.
Nah.
And I guess it was a cheap lesson that you should not have Jim Hellwig in your movie.
Yeah.
But anybody but him. Like literally any other wrestler at that point in time.
hashtag never warrior.
Right.
Anyone but you, Roman. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have had Baby Wyndham Rotunda as the swordsman, and it would have been better than Jim Hellwig.
Probably right.
All right. Well, shall we take a break?
Yes.
Let's.
It's weird. The year before, Chad McQueen was in a movie called Death Ring.
Oh, is that about his...
What else? Was it also by PM Dawn?
No. Different company.
Was it about his marriage to that harpy?
Till death ring do you part.
And or the other guy shooting.
With this death ring I thee wed.
I thee dead.
Ivy wet blanket.
It's one of those boxes, or the poster for Death Ring has Norris, Drago, McQueen, Swayze, and it's all like the knockoff, all of those people. It's Mike Norris and Chad McQueen and Don Swayze. It's such a lie.
You know what? I respect that, though. That's clever.
Yep.
It's horrible, but it's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun when they get the brothers or sons of people together
Mm-hmm.
in all in one movie. I kind of want to make one that's like a collection of all of the brothers, sons, and whatever, all the famous people, and call it like the Pretendables.
Yes.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Look, it's Frank Stallone and Chad McQueen.
Yep.
And, I don't know, all those other people you just named.
Mike Norris, Don Swayze.
I mean, you can even put Eric Roberts in there, you know.
You could.
It's not
'cause
Julia Roberts.
He's an almost. God, I wonder what the count is up to on his filmography.
Who, Chad?
Eric
Oh,
Roberts.
Eric Roberts. If you blink, it'll add 5.
Yeah, it's probably just like the debt clock. 454 acting credits. Fuck, man.
Yeah. It's okay to take a day off, dude.
No. And he probably shows up for like 4 minutes.
Oh
in
yeah,
all.
it's always one scene. He hasn't starred in a movie forever.
Nope.
There's like 20 movies that are all in post production.
I think the strangest, like, you know, I still a big fan, but like Gary Oldman's trajectory, his career is the weirdest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
Like he will be in big movie, never fucking heard of it.
Yep.
And it's like there'll be like 3 of those in a row, and they don't even always seem like they're personal projects. It's just like I fucking need to work, I guess. And it's like next thing you know, it's like Planet of the Apes, and then like some shit you've never heard of again.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you do that?
Oh god, he's appearing in those weird Star Trek fan films.
Oh, great.
Man, Eric Roberts really will do anything for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And also, if he's in those Star Trek fan films, you can get Eric Roberts for pretty cheap. Clearly.
I fucking try to watch that. The quote-unquote big one. Jesus. It was
So do you have any movies, Chuck?
Yes.
Second half? How
Yes.
many?
2.
2 movies. Huh?
Dose.
What are they?
I'm not telling you yet.
Oh. You should tell me.
Nah.
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 Fine, Chuck.
Good.
Be that guy.
He was on Heroes.
Was he?
He's 7 episodes of Heroes. Eric Roberts.
Oh yeah, of course.
30,
I wouldn't keep you getting 7
34 episodes of The Young and the Restless. Like, at what point did he just fucking give up and just be like, I'm going to be a soap opera star now?
Who's that?
Eric Roberts.
Oh. Yeah, one of those showed up on some of the streaming service. I don't even know how the fucking ended up there.
The Star Trek one? Yeah.
I don't know. I made it. I made it about 20 minutes. God, it was terrible.
Was it the one where they started bringing in, like, Alan Ruck and all those people?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Okay.
like Walter Koenig would
Yeah.
say, because like, you know, he'll do that shit.
It's like Chase Masterson
Yeah.
and all those people.
Yeah, it's like here's all the people who
Yeah.
have appeared on Star Trek all together. And I mean, yeah, Alan Ruck, or what's his name? Did you say him? The guy from Ferris Bueller? Cameron?
Alan Ruck, yeah.
Yeah, it's like he was the captain in fucking Generations.
Generations, yeah.
Like he was the Enterprise B captain for
Yep.
all of like 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then they were like, yeah, sure, you be a character on here. And timeline made no fucking sense for starters.
No, of course not.
Oh god.
Okay.
Yeah. I just
God.
remembered that.
Yeah.
However, that Predator Dark Ages you should watch. That's fucking good.
I've heard.
There are some fan films that are good.
That is good news. Good job, fans.
Anywho, who's got what?
I got 2 things.
All right. I guess I can do my little my Sorkin recap quickly.
Yeah, we've got like a dozen emails.
Okay, I will be very quick.
Do you have anything,
I
DJ?
have a thing to say about one of them.
No.
Okay. Me neither.
Nothing
High five.
I should talk about.
All right, well, let's get this
Pop that
started, I
five.
guess.
Yeah.
Enough dicking around. Let's do this.
Right.
All right, and welcome back.
Hey.
BMFcast.
I think we have some more movies to talk about.
Yeah, that's what we do here.
We should talk about movies.
Chuck, go ahead. They're probably newer than mine.
Okay. One of them's not technically a movie, but it's something I want to recommend. Santa Clarita Diet on Netflix is a
yeah.
quality show.
Santa Clarita.
I keep hearing
Isn't it just
people-
Clara?
No,
It is Clarita?
Clarita.
Okay.
I keep hearing people say, like, I haven't seen a lot of press or anything about it. I've just heard people say, like, on Twitter, just pop up and go, hey, Santa Clarita Diet is fucking amazing. You should watch it.
Here's the thing about Netflix
And then they
stuff.
disappear.
There's no promotion for any of it. It just shows up.
I saw promotion the day it came out, like
Yeah.
on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I need to check that out.
And they release shit like every 12 hours. There's a new thing all of a sudden they'll be like, here's 20 episodes of a Sam Elliott sitcom that we shot. And I'm like, what?
Well, like I didn't even mention it, but like same thing. I heard of it like day it got released. Was that Michael Bolton special?
Yeah. That Valentine's
which is
Day
pretty
special.
fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like I highly recommend
Well,
watching.
isn't that the Lonely Island guys
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
They all show up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like that Bill Murray Christmas thing. It's just like a weird hour-long fucking strange thing.
Random-ass
Yeah,
thing.
random ass. This is even more random ass though.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a quality show. Sticks to a good sitcom length. So, you've got 26-minute episodes. You can breeze through it real quick.
Yeah.
10 episodes, and it's good. It's one of those shows where funny people weave in and out of it. Like it's one of those shows that Thomas Lennon will show up in, and you're just like, oh, okay, that guy, and you know. So,
Which Timothy Oliphant are we getting in that one?
here's the thing: he is different in every series I've ever seen him in. He is cool and collected and justified. He is fucking a rage machine in Deadwood, and in this, he's over the top, kind of hysterical because his world is falling apart, and he's great. I mean, like, it's so good.
He's basically always great.
Yes, I have yet to really see him in something where I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. So that led to this other thing, that and something else. I was kind of looking at Oliphant's resume and seeing like what I might have missed. And then I was
making sure it wasn't Josh Duhamel or whatever.
yeah. And then I was looking at, because we're doing a Doctor Who podcast for Patreon, I was looking over Christopher Eccleston's list. And I was like, wait a minute, both these guys are in Gone in 60 Seconds. I don't remember that at all. I have to go watch that now. So I did.
Yeah.
And
Angelina with cornrows.
kind of. They come and go for no real reason. Much like her character, who has no point in the movie whatsoever. There are too many characters in that movie. But so I watched it again for the first time since seeing it in a theater. That movie is ridiculous and also a lot of fun. With like a few bits of technology upgrades, that movie could be out now and it wouldn't seem any different. Like, characters will hold up old ass cell phones. That's really like the only thing that sets that movie apart.
Well, I mean, I know it was a remake. Was it a pretty straight remake of the original, or
it was
is it its
more
own
premise
thing?
only? Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Oliphant's he's Delroy Lindo's partner in that. They're the two cops who are hunting down Nicolas Cage. And Christopher Eccleston is the fucking bad guy in that movie. I didn't remember this at all. Like, at all.
Yeah.
And he gets to use his own accent in it, which is remarkable because that never happens. But that movie is stupid fun. The odd thing about it, though, is that you figure a movie about a bunch of car thefts is going to be a lot of car chases, and it's not really, except for the last bit. Like, there's not a bunch of scenarios where they get into some sort of car chase thing. The movie is almost not about cars at all. They're just this peripheral idea that the movie is about, but it's hardly a car movie. It's kind of strange. But that was from the era where, like, every summer you knew you were going to get a Bruckheimer movie.
Yep.
And it was like, what's the Bruckheimer movie going to be this summer? And it was always just like, well, you know.
Yeah, before they made Pirates, and we're just like, we make Pirates movies now.
Yeah, but there was always like, this summer is going to be the new thing, and it's going to have that logo at the beginning, and all 20,000 people in it you like, and it's going to be real dumb. And I miss that. I miss thinking, like, what's the Bruckheimer movie going to be this summer? That's disappointing, but you can always go back to Gone in 60 Seconds because it's real stupid. But the two people in it who I did not know were in it are both very good in it. So,
When's the last time you watched the Italian Job remake? Is that I didn't remember. I remember not liking that, but
it's pretty good. I
okay?
I saw it for the first time 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, so I might need to just revisit that. 'cause
Yeah.
That's a
was-
good little heist flick.
It is.
Yeah.
It's perfectly acceptable.
I mean, the only thing I remember was Seth Green was Napster, right? And he had the
Yes.
whole thing
Yeah.
about like I invented Napster. Yeah.
Yes.
That is so dumb, but it's played really well.
Yeah. That movie's surprisingly good.
Well, and also like that's kind of the source of the, routing the traffic through Friendster bullshit kind of thing. That's pretty
Yep.
much the key right there.
Yeah. So, those are my things.
All right. I'll just quickly. I revisited. Well, I think I revisited one movie. I'm not entirely sure. I'm revisiting at least something that we did way back on Inpak.
Oh.
No Pretense of Cool when we were doing that.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
man.
Where we did the Sorkin cast.
Remember that
Pop-
dead podcast?
Well,
Give it up.
way back then, I said, hey, I've seen almost everything Aaron Sorkin's ever written.
Right.
I've completed the TV quest.
Sure.
I had completed that at the time, and I realized there was a couple movies I had missed. So I had never seen Charlie Wilson's War, so I watched that one first.
Yep.
Man, like that is it's almost a tough movie to watch because if you know history at all, you know essentially what it's leading up to.
Right.
However, it is a profoundly fascinating movie.
Yes.
And if you just skipped it, like I think if I recall right, I barely remember that movie being promoted at all. And what I do remember, it was not promoted right at all.
It was promoted like, check out your favorite movie stars in a
Yeah.
wacky movie.
Like I seem to remember them like playing it up like it was almost some fucking Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts romantic comedy
Exactly,
bullshit.
yes.
And like it is not that at all.
Nope.
Like it is talky Aaron Sorkin, smart things happening, smart people saying smart shit. And Philip Seymour Hoffman is amazing in it.
Yes.
And there are so many people in that movie, like down to like every level. Like it's an early appearance of Emily Blunt. Before she was like a recognizable name. All of quote unquote Charlie's Angels, the people that work in his office are like just about somebody you can recognize if you know anything. Like oh hey there's Chick from Roswell, there's Rachel Nichols. It's like and anyway, but yeah, I mean it's good. Like. And if you somehow don't know history and you start watching the movie, it will probably turn out more fascinating. I still think you have to kind of know history because they really never come completely out and say, look, in case you didn't understand what we were talking about,
Right.
this is what this fucking led to. Yeah. So anyway, but like, if you're ignorant of history, you might actually somehow enjoy the movie better. That's the strange thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anywho, like that's good and it's worth watching. And then I also, I think I've watched this movie, but if I did, I completely disregarded it at the time. I watched Malice, which was, I think, his first movie that he ever wrote. I believe it's right up. It's way back.
He didn't write it. He kind of came in and
Script doctor did or
yeah.
something? Okay. Well, I mean,
So-
it's credited story and screenplay by him and somebody else.
Yeah.
And, like, each one is a different and.
Yes.
I don't know. The whole thing kind of screams Sorkin from the get-go.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because, I mean, if I watched it, it's probably I either disregarded it or if I didn't see it, I just confused it with other movies because there were a lot of movies post Fatal Attraction that were like trying to capitalize on that genre.
Yep.
Including like an easy way to get confused is they're Sleeping with the Enemy, I believe, also with Nicole Kidman. And it's like
That's Julia Roberts.
Is it Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's fucking confusing. There's so many of those movies in that time period.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is, like, if you haven't seen Malice, you need to see Malice. There's almost nothing I can say about what it's ultimately about without potentially spoiling it because it's such a twisty and turny movie. But it's, I think if it had maybe like a slightly better director, and that's not to say it's directed badly. It's just if it had like a slightly higher caliber director, I think this would be a movie that would like just be cemented in lore of like this is how you write and make a movie, because like even things I was being critical of now, like modern day thinking of movies and characters and gender identities and things like that. There were things that I was thinking in the beginning of that movie. I was just like, oh God, like this is, why is this person acting like this way? And then you realize, like, by the end of the movie, it is all crafted. Like, it is, all of that is happening for a reason. And everything you could even gripe about, even in a modern day context, is completely solved by the end. And it's kind of amazing for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just love that the advertising campaign for it did not let on to what that movie was about at all.
Yeah.
It makes that movie seem like he's a holier than thou doctor, and people have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not the movie at all.
No, like I honestly, I can't recommend that movie enough.
Yep.
Like I said, like it's a quite literal roller coaster, like your opinion on the movie throughout watching the movie, which I love things like that. I love a movie that like redeems itself by the end just by its own art of storytelling.
Yeah.
Man, I was floored by that movie, because I just was not expecting that. Like, at first I thought I saw it, I just was like, this must not have been good, because I don't remember a thing about it. And the more I'm watching, I'm like, have I seen this? Did I see this? This is why didn't I remember this? But yeah,
It's strong. I really wish it was more well known than it is.
yeah. There's if I have a gripe about the movie, and this is like an early plot point of the movie, so it's not super spoilery. I think it's just a form of misdirection, but there is like a sort of B plot running through this movie for about half the movie that is very strange, because it doesn't really ultimately lead to anything other than, as I made a joke on Twitter,
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of my favorite jokes, because like I think the entire plot line was a red herring.
Yeah.
Like, it's because you think this is what the movie's about, and it's not at all. Like it like the time it resolves, it's like, no, that's done. Like, that is done and gone. Like,
I think that was more of an audience thing of just like, you think the movie's about this.
Right.
It is not.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
watch that movie.
Because, when that plot wraps up and you're like, wait, what the hell else are you going to do with your movie?
Right.
And then they tell you, it's all kinds of twisty and turny.
Yep. And one of the main people in that little B plot is a young Gwyneth Paltrow. Like, she showed up for half a second. I was like, who is that? Because she looks very different at that age. But
Yep.
yeah. Anyway, but yeah, just Alec Baldwin. Like, that's 2 Alec Baldwin movies in a row for me. But man, that Alec Baldwin of that time, I am now convinced, 100% convinced, he would have made a great Batman at the time. That time period. But yeah, highly recommend that movie if you can find it.
Okay.
It is on Blu-ray.
Okay.
So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Physical media.
Yes.
I mean, because like you're watching it, and like there's really clever camera stuff going on in it. Like, it's just, there's something about the direction of the movie that is keeping it from being like a pure classic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So speaking of classics, I was thinking about Bill Paxton.
All
He
right.
passed away,
That's true.
which sucks.
Yes.
And I realized I can't think of a single performance of his I didn't enjoy.
Nope.
Like, did he have like a perfect record? Even the line delivery in Twister when Carrie Elways gets sucked into the tornado,
Yeah.
and he's like, God, and it smacks the dash, is like just knowingly bad enough that I love it.
yeah, I think that.
But
the whole movie is that way. Kind of. Like everyone's kind of playing to like this is kind of dumb, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think that he has been. I mean, he has been in some bad movies, but
He's never the
he's
bad
never
part of it.
been embarrassing. Like, I mean, I think the thing is that you saw him so early going so far over the top that there was never going to be another moment where he was ever going to appear to look foolish in a role, because he went completely panicky idiot in Aliens, and then, everyone loved it. Like, there's no one who's like, man, fuck that guy.
Well, you think about it, like Aliens, like he is what makes that movie, because he's such a cocky shit throughout, and it immediately sets the stakes. So, like, it firmly plants the stakes in, yeah, these guys are fucked, because he is losing his shit.
Yeah.
And it's funny how he's doing it, but it's also like, character building for everyone else because he's just showing how humbled they all are.
Yeah.
And and just some of the exchanges he has with Vasquez are just some of the best stuff in movies.
And I'm sure it will never happen again, but Hollywood, take note. Don't ever, if you make more Terminator, Alien, or Predator movies, nobody can get killed in all three.
Yeah.
And he's the only one. He's the only person that has been killed on screen by all three.
Yep. But yeah, that guy, I mean, like, even like recently he would show up in, like, he was no longer an advertising selling point in a lot of movies. Like, he would show up in Edge of Tomorrow. And he would be like 6th or 7th build, but as soon as I saw his name, I'd be like, sweet, Bill Paxton's in this.
The show was a fucking roller coaster of good and bad, but he showed up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and just about fucking saved that show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, he was so good
it was
on that.
Right at the perfect time that he showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guy was awesome.
Yes.
And that just sucks. Complications from surgery. That's shitty.
It is.
Some doctor's going to get their ass sued to death.
But his career, I mean, hell, even Navy SEALs, it's a good career.
Yeah.
Was
he ever the lead in anything? I'm really trying to think, and
there was a couple in the 90s.
I mean, Simple Plan, him and Billy Bob were like, both
God, Simple
sort
Plan
of,
is so fucking good.
like, they were both kind of leads. I mean, you would argue Billy Bob more so because his star was super on the rise at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's kind of, well, no, not really. I mean, he directed Frailty, and he's a big part of Frailty.
Yeah, that's right.
But, I mean, like, he would just, I'm going to direct a movie. Mm-hmm. And that movie's fucking awesome. And then it was kind of like, I'm not going to direct any more movies. Yeah. It's like, but wait, dude.
I made the movie I wanted to make.
You made this one movie, and it's awesome.
Well, and he also showed up in Club Dread.
Yeah.
As Coconut Pete. And Coconut Pete is by far the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
Because the rest of that movie.
There's not much else good.
Yeah, the rest of that movie's kind of shit.
Yeah.
But, man, his character is so good.
Yeah. I mean, like, you even go back and you watch something like True Lies, which doesn't hold up for the most part. There's a lot of
excuse me?
There's a lot of bad things in True Lies.
All right.
But Bill Paxton is not one of them. And I have never stopped laughing at the bit where he goes to do a toast and it's just these plastic fucking champagne glasses and they just smash together and it just goes plunk. And it's just like, man, you are a cheap motherfucker. It's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, just enjoy your memories of True Lies. Don't go back to True Lies.
All right.
I'm mad that that's not on Blu-ray. Like, that's one of the... I've had that on my, like, notify me Amazon when it's on Blu-ray immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's because I've seen it in the last... when Blu-ray was around, so my memories are intact.
Oh, okay.
True Lies is awesome.
All right, settle down. Jesus.
You stand corrected, Chuck.
I guess so. Yeah, it's
and by all accounts, a really awesome dude, like, in personal life, too.
Yeah.
Like if you met him, he wouldn't pull Hollywood on you. He
seemed like one of those guys, and I've heard from people talking about him since, like, there was no one who feuded with him. There was no, like, oh man, that guy's a dick. None of that. Mm-hmm. There were no two sides of him working in movies. So
yeah, and I think it was Ron Perlman. I want to say it was Ron Perlman on Twitter. He was just like, yeah, he was married for 30 years. Mm-hmm. So, and he was in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So read that how you will.
Yeah. I mean, hell, he showed up in several, like, early horror movies that I've reviewed and is great in them, even though he's a kid, basically, and, has no business being good at all. And as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, sweet, Bill Paxton's in this. This is awesome. So
yeah, I mean, it sucks because, like, I mean, I got caught today because I say lines from his shit all the time, and somebody was like, too soon, and I was like, oh fuck, you're right. Like, it's a constant bummer. I said it tonight, and nobody caught me. You brought food in, and I was like, did you spit in this? Yeah. I mean, it's just fucking lines for days from that guy.
Quote Weird Science backwards and forwards. Mm-hmm. He's going to be in a BMFcast movie here pretty soon. Because Streets of Fire comes out on Blu-ray, I think, in May, and he's in that. So,
good.
We will pay tribute to the Bill Paxton.
Yeah. Well, he is a BMFcast alum.
Yeah.
So Navy SEALs, fucking Navy SEAls. All right. Moving on.
Yep.
You guys want some emails?
Yes.
We got kind of a backlog. I don't know if we'll get through all of them in time, but
Let's get through
let's
all
just
of them.
Get going.
Let's stay here till we finish.
Nah, let's not. And say we did. First one up's from Sean.
Hi, Sean.
It says, BMFcast Extra, another really big Shaw.
Shaw.
Because you guys are doing Shaw.
Well, should we save that? Is that for us? Because we did have people like send shit there.
Yeah, but people are...
All right, well, cross-promote. Cross-promote.
Oh, I haven't listened to the most recent Shaw ones. So.
Well, we've been asking for Shaw
Yeah,
recommendations.
just please write in and talk to us about Shaw Brothers movies. So here's one.
All right. Here we go. It says, hey, BMFcast.
Hey.
I was listening to the That Man Bolt episode recently, and I do agree that, oh shit, it's Bolt, needs to be made. Says Dracula and the Seven Brothers and their one sister was mentioned in the email section, and that reminded me of another Shaw Brothers co-production called The Stranger and the Gunfighter. It stars Lo Lee of Five Fingers of Death fame and the master ninja himself, Lee Van Cleef.
Okay.
Lo and Lee are mismatched anti-heroes searching for a dead man's missing fortune. The map to
Should
the
it be
fortune.
Lilo
Could be.
and Stitch?
The map to the fortune was divided up into 4 pieces and tattooed on the asses of the last 4 mistresses of said dead man. Never has a quest for booty been so literal. If a co-production can make the Shaw Brothers list, consider checking out The Stranger and the Gunfighter. Thanks, Sean.
I think that's acceptable.
There you go.
I mean, Cleopatra Jones and the Casino of Gold was a Shaw Brothers co-production.
That's right.
So, certainly allowed.
Oh, of course. All right. Next one up is from Jay from Vegas.
Ooh.
And he
Or
titles this...
Jagus, as I like to call him.
Jagus. Jagus. He's titled this one, John Wick Chapter 2 is a huge steaming pile of shit. Hey, BMFcast crew. Jay from Vegas here, and I cannot wait to see your faces when Mackie reads the title of this email. For my honest opinion of John Wick Chapter 2, just know that I'll be taking a week off when it hits the dollar theater and buy a ticket for every showing so I can live in the world of John Wick and witness the beauty of him fucking murdering the population of a small country. Another quick note. I did see John Wick at the luxury theater, and the ticket prices were the same as what I paid in California for a regular theater, and the experience was so worth it. I think the fact that I spent most of my life in California and got used to paying $4 to $5 a gallon for gas and $1,200 a month for a one-bedroom apartment with neighbors who cook meth on their porches skewed my view on how much fucking money it costs to live in that shithole. Seriously, fuck California. Jay. Sent from my motorized recliner I sat to watch John Wick Chapter 2, my ass has never experienced such luxury.
Sounds like it went to an AMC theater.
Yeah.
Shit's awesome. If I ruined your fun, it's because I'm becoming desensitized to terrible opinions. So that one feeling like low on the rungs right now.
No.
Like I was just like, all right, if he doesn't like John Wick 2, whatever.
So be it.
Yeah, it's like, well, sorry, I hear worse opinions on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's a vocal contingent of people that big fans of John Wick 1 who do not like 2.
I'm sure.
It's
yeah. I mean,
some people feel it's pulling a Matrix Reloaded to Matrix type thing, where it's like they tried to expand the world too much, which I can kind of see.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm really the more I think about the ending of that movie, the more I'm kind of soured on the third one, unless they do some different stuff with it. But we'll see.
100% in. So
Yeah.
ready.
I mean, yeah, I'll still see it because fucking action is what you're there for.
It's the first 2 words in the title that matter. John Wick.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a real good point. Do you want to play
Boogeyman. And he's coming for us.
Do you want to play a voicemail, or you want me to read another one?
I wasn't aware of voicemail, so
We've got a couple.
go for another email, I guess.
All right. Sorry. Next one up is from Bergier. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name or her name.
Spell it.
Birgir. Bergier. I'm going with Bergier.
Okay.
This one's titled Enemy Gold. It says, Dear BMFcast, I've been rewatching the Andy Sedaris collection and listening to the podcast afterwards, and I share the same sentiment after a hard ticket to Hawaii. The sequel started to have worse pacing and sometimes needlessly confusing plot, only with boobs and explosions to keep things interesting. However, since I kept going through the collection, I got to Enemy Gold, and in that one, things take a turn for the better. Most importantly, Andy Sedaris only produced this one. Writing and directing was left to other Sedaris family members. And it's all better for it. There are no unnecessary characters. The Molokai transport is no more. In fact, only the only thing connecting this one to the previous films is the agency our main characters work for. The pacing is way better. It almost moves forward like a movie should. Oh,
Almost.
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 Character motivations are clear, and it has a story that you can follow, and most of the time there are plenty of boobs, but they never slow the movie down too much.
I don't know if boobs have ever slowed a movie down.
Oh no, we've hit boob overload.
Yeah, there's been a couple movies.
Well,
But,
leathery ones.
But not, yeah. But Sedaris, the Sedaris family clearly knows what's up. But says, in fact, it's the opposite of the previous movies where the only good thing about them were the boobs and explosions. This is a fun movie where the boobs and explosions are nice extras. Anyway, enough about boobs. I recommend Enemy Gold if you guys ever decide to do another Andy Sedaris movie without Andy Sedaris. And we will.
Oh, yeah, we're going to watch everything in that set.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I don't know if the one he's referring to is in that set.
Enemy Gold, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think...
I thought it stopped with just the Andy Sedaris.
No, the
No,
last
the
two or
producer,
three
yeah.
Okay.
have his son directing, I believe, and... Yeah.
You can answer this right away.
It's on here.
Okay.
Enemy Gold. So thanks, Bergier. And let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yes. We do not wish to disrespect.
Oh, of course. So,
Yeah.
do you want to hear a voicemail?
What voicemail am I going? How far back do I need?
There's...
Just find one that says nice things about me and play that one.
Oh, there aren't any of those.
We don't have any of those.
There's one from 830. There's also one from 530.
Okay.
You can play either.
Hi, BMFcast. This is Jay Dinosaur calling from the West Coast. I called a number of years ago to complain about how much you guys hate Spider-Man 2. I think I used a more clever nickname back then. Anyways, I just wanted you guys to let you know that, well, you see, I had a question, but every time I listen to one of your episodes, because, well, you see, I listen to you guys while I sleep because I just like listening to background noises, people talking and stuff. And every time I listen to one of your episodes, and then I wake up at the end, I'm listening to the closing out music, and it terrifies me. I just don't know what to say. It's just every time I hear it, I'm just like, ah! And could you guys maybe talk about what you find as the strengths and negatives of your rating system? I think it's really interesting and unique, original. Okay, thanks, bye. See you guys later.
Well, it took a while to get there, but that's an excellent question.
Thanks, Jay.
What was the...
We should go back to singing the theme song when we close out.
Sure.
But no, it was the rating system.
What do you think the strengths and weaknesses are? I'm prepared to answer this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been thinking about this question for a while.
Oh, have you now?
The strengths are literally everything about it, and the weaknesses are none.
Huh. I think the weaknesses are that we care too much.
We put too much thought into
Yeah,
it.
we're too much of a perfectionist.
Yeah, really.
about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it keeps us from really doing our
Our
job.
weaknesses, we just can't leave work undone.
Yeah.
No.
We are addicted to overtime.
I think the sole weakness is not having a 0 rating.
Yeah.
If I had to complain about anything, but I also think that it forces us to be like, no, you're either recommending this movie or you're not.
Yeah, and I think when we finally got to the point that we established that's what the line was, it became slightly easier.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, one either way is very meh, but one on either side is like, would I watch it again or tell somebody to watch it? Maybe barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you get a 1 jocks.
Yeah.
And if it's like a no, it's like, all right, well, then it's a 1 bag.
Yeah. And if you ever listen to the very, very, very early episodes, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
Nope.
And it feels like the show really gelled a lot more once we could have a firm rating on things.
Sure. Like I said, and then it evolved and, became, all right, if it's a bags, it's like, I don't want to see this again. I wouldn't recommend it. How strongly would you not recommend it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 is like burn it off the face of the earth. 5 bags, that is. So.
Yeah, Scott mentioned something in the chat, and that is that it is difficult to use that rating system outside of the podcast.
Yeah. That was going to be my thing of because like when I go to Letterboxd to log the movie, I'm like, okay, what does 3 jocks really mean in a 5-star world?
Well,
then you have, 2.5 is your 0.
the easiest way is to, well, no.
It's still hard.
I would say, like, in a 5-star rating scale, like 0 stars would be 5 bags. like if you look at it as a 10-point scale, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can divide that by 2 to get your your star rating.
Yeah.
Because I think can you do half stars on
Yes.
on Letterboxd? Then
Yes.
Yeah, I used to do it that way, but I stopped because the ratings didn't look right to me.
Yeah.
There's no other way to explain it. You look at it and go, "That's not a 4.5 star movie." It's like, no, that's more of like a 3.5. I don't know.
Yeah. You kind of have to just eyeball it.
But it's also
Fine,
like
you do it your way.
yeah, it's also when you tell somebody outside of the show, like, "Oh, it's 5 jocks." Like, what?
Yeah.
But-
It is.
Sure, that-
It is also one that is like. I think you would give a movie a different rating on Letterboxd. Like, if you want to translate our ratings directly to a scale, then fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they really apply to the typical movie scale either.
No,
So
'cause- I mean, let's be honest. Like, Robot Jocks is not fucking Casablanca. They're not 5-star movies by
I mean,
movie-making
it's close.
standards.
It's like 4.9 stars.
Well, yeah. Well,
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
like, you really think about it in full-on, real-ass movie
Well,
making.
it also made me like look at which ones I could go, yeah, that's still just an awesome movie. Like Truck Turner. That's 5 stars no matter what scale I watch that movie on, because that movie is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But also, like, I could look at. Actually, I think I gave King of the Kickboxers 5 stars too, because I was like, man, that movie's kind of pretty much awesome too.
What did we give Story of Ricky? Did we?
That was
episode
pre-rating,
2, so there was
It was
no rating
pre-ratings,
scale.
but
Okay,
I
it was
think when
pre-ratings.
we went back early on, like as soon as we had the rating system, we went back in the spreadsheet and actually gave them ratings, and I think we all gave it 4s.
Okay.
I think we all gave it, but that was also at a time where we were like, nothing could be 5 jocks because only
True.
Robot Jocks is 5 jocks.
There's some stuff that's just not that, like, and we will come across more stuff that's not good that will still be a fucking 5 jocks movie because it kicks ass.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, it's like ours is a little bit more on the fun scale and not necessarily like
Yes.
where I sat down and were forced to review this critically. I probably wouldn't give many of our movies 5 real movie cinema stars.
Yeah.
Were it my job to like do that for a living. I wouldn't actually go tell somebody like, look, Slaughter is as perfect a fucking movie as Casablanca, Citizen Kane,
Oh no,
everything else.
that one is.
It is.
That one is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
It has fountains.
Whatever example you give, we're
I
gonna be
know.
Like, well,
Like I Come in Peace, perfect movie.
Sure, yeah.
yeah,
Like, yeah, Barbed Wire, it's just as good as Casablanca.
Same plot.
Yeah.
yeah, Food Fight,
Yeah.
just as good as Casablanca.
Absolutely.
Same plot. Only other thing I'll say is Bags. As Twilight becomes less and less culturally relevant, I think that part gets tricky. But there are plenty of douchebaggy things, and just
It's also
the sound
like-
of bagging a movie sounds
Yeah.
it sounds negative. So we
Right.
we got very lucky calling it that, and Jocks just sounds good.
Yeah. Well, like Bags after Twilight, like you pretty much have to listen to that episode to understand sort of what we mean.
How profound a douchebag Edward is
Right.
in that movie.
However, just saying Bags again is pretty like
Yeah.
pretty descriptive.
Everyone
on its
knows
own.
that giving
Yeah.
something a bags is
Yeah.
bad.
It's like a trash bag.
Yeah.
I'd love to tell somebody like, "Oh man, it was the worst movie, but it was so fucking good," and watch them just kind of go, "Huh?"
Yep.
If everyone would learn our scale, I could just say, "Dude, total 4 jocks movie," and they'd be like, "Yes, I'm gonna go watch that."
I do like that people write in and I'll say it's about a 3 jocks movie.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool.
Oh, well, that's all right.
We appreciate that you guys know our scale well enough to recommend things on our scale to us.
Yes.
Agreed.
Don't recommend Bags.
Thank you for learning our cinema Esperanto.
Oh, I'm going to start the Cinema Esperanto's podcast. I can't even say it. Cinema Esperanto.
Oh, and I hope we have infiltrated your dreams there, Jay.
Yeah, sorry that we startle you so much. At least we haven't blown up your speaker or your marriage.
It's true.
We've only done that to other people. All right. Next one up is from Mr. Spike, who says,
Mr. Spike.
Mr. Spike. Mer Spike.
What's wrong with Chuck?
He's Mr. Spike.
Hey, Mr. Spike.
Or it could be,
cousin of Nick Sledge.
could it be Mrs. Pike?
No.
Okay.
There's an MR dot space Spike.
Is she also in a wheelchair that blinks?
So, Mr. Spike says, "What genre is this?" Says, "Greetings, BMFcast.
Email.
Mr. Spike here. I'll give Chuck a moment to laugh at my name.
Well, thank you for that.
Mission accomplished, Mr. Spike. Anyways,
Mr. Spike. Dr. Lecter.
anyways, recently I was trying to recommend The Guest to someone, but having a hard time describing it tonally because it seemed to switch genres every half hour. That got me thinking about other movies that are hard to talk about because they don't seem to fit a category. Like Vampire's Kiss or Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. It's too goofy to be a horror movie, but it's not really funny to be a comedy. It's somewhere in the middle. Like the directors kept changing their mind on what the movie was.
Club Dread.
Yeah. Yes. So that was going to be my example.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So have you watched similar movies where you're left confused because it seemed to be all over the place? Crash and Burn sent via 90s hackers.
John dies at the end. Figure out what the fuck you want to be, movie.
Yeah.
I know it's deliberate, but From Dusk Till Dawn,
Oh, yeah.
because that's a Pulp Fiction-y crime movie, and then just vampire movie.
Flip the switch.
I mean, there is no hint of vampires in the first 30 minutes of that. It is just dudes on the run, and crime has happened, and then all of a sudden they're in a place, and boom, vampires, and then from there it's nothing but vampires.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always break a movie. I mean, sometimes it's good if it's done well. Like, A Cabin in the Woods is kind of genre bending.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 is genre bending. The first one's just
yeah.
straight up a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
But
Big Trouble in Little China is literally all the genres. Every single genre of film all at once.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think about, like, Club Dread, and...
it didn't succeed on any front. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that funny, and it's
Yeah,
not scary.
I mean, you can tell when they're trying to do jokes, but it's also, like, you can't careen from one end to the other, because then there's just straight-up horror movie scenes happening in that. And you're like, wait, what? And yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think comedy's the weirdest one to try to pull in. Like, I mean, to me, The Guest is fucking perfect. I mean, I don't know. It's a 4 actual star movie. It's really good. I mean, it helps because you don't see the swerve coming because it's kind of a different movie up to that point. But I mean, if I were like doing the old, like, well, where the fuck do I put this in Blockbuster? It'd go in the thriller section. I mean, that's just your generic, like, it's not horror, but it's thriller.
yeah. And there were a lot of early 90s, like, you know, almost I want to say like parents movies. Like Dave is one of those movies that I'm just like, is this supposed to be a drama? Is this supposed to be a comedy? It's not really very
It's a
much
dramedy.
of... Yeah, but it's not really very much of any of them. You know, there's a lot of stuff like that. And the early 90s was rife with a lot of those type things.
Yeah.
Where it was like, we're just middle of the road.
Mrs. Doubtfire
Yeah.
is wacky comedy bookended by heartfelt, serious drama bits that are actually better than the comedy bits. But
Yeah.
I run into the problem a lot with both horror movies and science fiction because there are so many of them that could go either way. It's like when you do a horror movie in space, it's like, okay, wait a minute, what is this? Is it a horror movie or is it a science fiction movie? That gets tricky.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I mean, just recommend people The Guest. I knew nothing about The Guest going in, so I think that's the best way to recommend. Just they either trust you or they don't. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Sometimes you just have to say, just trust me and watch the damn movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
do you like good movies?
Well, just,
Watch this
I mean,
movie.
to me, like if you're trying to explain it, they're like, well, "What kind of movie is it?" It's just like, look, the less you know about it, the better you're going to be. If you'll just trust me,
Yeah.
like you know the person's taste. Like, if they don't like violence or whatever thing, you know, then if it goes there, don't recommend it. But like I said, sometimes it's just the less you know about a movie, the better.
I mean, most people will watch anything. There are a certain subset of people who will just be like, don't ever recommend a horror movie to me. I don't like horror movies, which is fine. Some people just don't like the worst parts of humanity on film. But
Well, some people just like physically do not like being scared.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
it hurts them or
Yes.
something. You know, like some people like that tension and
Or
build.
people like my wife who has enough trouble sleeping as it is.
Yeah.
I don't, need her imagining horrible things happening
Right.
to...
But I mean,
happening
like
to her.
comedy, drama, thriller, etc., on and on. It's like at that point, it's just like, is the movie good?
Yeah.
You will like it, that kind of thing. It's like what we were talking about when we were. How do you recommend a movie without spoiling it?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, do you like good movies? Here's one.
Yeah.
And if they start peppering you for information, like, well, what's it about? It's just like, just watch it.
Yeah.
It's good. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's 2 hours.
Yeah.
You got 2 hours.
The thing about like the genre bending things, they usually come out and are good because a genre has gotten stale. Like like every 10 years I feel like, all right, horror has become rote, and then you get Scream,
Yeah.
and then like every 10 more years go by, and it's like here's Cabin in the Woods, and it's like just every once in a while it's like you just need these things. It's like, all right, this is not your fucking standard run of the mill slasher movie whatever thing. It's like we are doing something different, and here it is.
Yep.
And some people don't like it. Some people like go into a movie and it's like if it's not what they thought it should be, fuck that movie.
Yes.
Like people that were like went into Cloverfield, original one, and were like, "That why isn't it a giant monster movie?" It's like, well, because you've seen those. Now we're trying to show you what happens on the ground level. And I'm not defending the movie one way or the other. It's just like maybe that's interesting. Like give it a chance. Some people are just like, no, not what I was expecting. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. You want to play another voicemail?
Sure.
Yeah,
I got it.
There's actually another one too, but
Oh, is there?
yeah. But don't worry about it. No.
Yo, BMFcast, Eli G from Virginia, and I was wondering if you had any really specific subgenres of movies that you find particularly entertaining. For me, there's the secret illegal martial arts tournament, possibly to the death movie, like Bloodsport and American Samurai. There's the use nukes to stop a natural disaster movie, like The Core and Sunshine. There's dystopian future cop movies, like RoboCop, Time Cop, Cyborg Cop, The One, Judge Dredd, Demolition Man, and Blade Runner. And finally, the Everything About Space Wants to Kill Us movie, which is almost every movie ever set in space. Thanks for all the laughs. Crash and burn. Eli out.
Super specific subgenres. Okay.
I think I like most of those.
Yeah.
That you mentioned.
Yeah. I like when an action star plays twins.
That is very specific.
Which
That's super specific.
Which, okay, I'll get even more specific. I like the 3 movies where Jean-Claude Van Damme has played twins.
Yeah.
So, give me a movie where Jean-Claude
Arnold-
Van Damme plays
Arnold
twins.
Schwarzenegger has played a twin.
Kind of.
Kind of. I will always be a fan of something that's gone out of style since the 90s, but like the clever criminals talking Tarantino knockoff thing, like Way of the Gun.
Oh, yeah.
And, stuff like that where it's like
2 Days in the Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's
Things
just
to do in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
where it's just
constant, just
criminals talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
And they're also like, they got some plan going on at the same time. And there's a random stupid friend that they run into that they have to they have to deal with in one way or another.
God, there were hundreds of those things.
I know.
Man.
And I liked like 90% of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I'm trying to narrow it down because, like, sci-fi is my fucking jam. Like, I will watch. I am just like you probably are with horror movies. I'll watch just about any sci-fi movie, like as long as it just isn't like 100% CG bullshit.
Right.
But I mean, like, very like a specific subgenre of that. I don't know.
Well, I think kind of what we were establishing last week when we were talking about Arrival. I think the new sci-fi subgenre of really science-y sci-fi that's been coming out, Gravity, Interstellar, Arrival, The Martian.
Yeah.
I like this kind of like this new sci-fi that's not just about space battles. It's about here's the reality of space.
Right.
It's fucking scary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I had to narrow it down, it's like I like the I'm on a journey things. Like stick people on like Sunshine, where stick people on a craft for a long period of time. Like I know people don't like the end of that movie, but like what gets me is the lead up of like seeing all the parts that it would take to actually survive in space, the dynamics of being stuck in a tube with people, and that's probably why I like Passengers more than, or it sounds like I like Passengers more than Arrival.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, all right, well, they're on a fucking spaceship going somewhere. Cool. Like, interact now.
Yes.
Yeah. The claustrophobic space. That's why I like Alien. It's like fucking space truckers. Like,
Yeah.
getting along.
Yeah.
Or fighting or whatever.
That's why we like Space Truckers also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Space trucking movies, you could say,
Yeah.
is our
yes.
jam.
Yes.
Sure. And of course, giant robots fighting.
That is a good subgenre.
There's not enough of that.
One of Chuck's favorite incredibly specific movie genres is 5 sibling golden retriever puppies movies.
Yes, those are great. I love movies about 5 identical golden retriever puppies.
With distinct personalities.
Exactly. They should make space trucker buddies.
Yeah, okay, I'd watch. We already had buddies in space, though.
No, but I want space. I want them trucking. I want them doing trucking things.
I think they should make service buddies.
What?
Somehow that strikes me as both extremely wrong and something that they should probably do.
They're PTS dogs.
PTSD. Post-traumatic stress dog? Yes. I mean,
I'm
good
saying-
call on the acronym. It's
Yeah.
pretty accurate.
I'm just saying, like, you know, like let's make an America Fuck Yeah Buddies movie. You know, like saving soldiers. It's like Max that nobody saw, but
those kinds of dogs.
yeah, service animal dogs.
Oh, no, I thought
No,
you
not
meant...
like seeing eye dogs.
Yeah, I thought you meant like
No,
what
like-
people actually call service
No, like,
animals.
I need
instead of
connection.
animals in the armed services.
Well, I would watch that too. Army buddies. Yeah.
Like strapping up one of the clumsy buddies puppies to someone who's blind. Just like, go.
Well, I mean, maybe grown-up buddies.
B-dog. That's Airbud.
I could do
Yeah, but when there's 5 of them, the grown-up service
Yeah.
buddies.
Okay.
bomb sniffer buddies.
Service buds.
Going out on missions.
Yeah, and hopefully B-Dog fucks up at some point.
He cuts the red wire.
Yeah.
Can we call it the Bark Locker? Somebody get that Robert Vince guy on the line. We're bringing him back. One more buddy.
No, he's out of the buddies world.
Nah, man, we're bringing him back.
Nope. It's all monkey movies now. And whatever the...
Maybe the monkey.
America-
Maybe the monkey's the one that has the PTSD. That monkey's seen some shit. That monkey's thrown some shit.
So
God.
Russell Madness has like the concussion syndrome and,
Oh, no, he's
yeah.
got CTE.
and now he needs seeing eye buddies.
Yes. He can see just fine.
Seizure buddies.
Look. Service animals aren't all just seeing eye dogs.
Let's do another voicemail.
All right.
Got one from 214.
Hey, BMFcast, it's Scott from Seattle here. I just got done watching a movie from 1996 by the name of Bad Moon. It's the story of a dog who is trying his best to protect his human family from the vicious werewolf. The problem is the vicious werewolf's human self happens to be related to them. It's actually a pretty cool, tense little horror film where a dog actor and a man get into constant stare-offs and don't blink situations. At one point, a dog's fighting a dude in a pretty good werewolf suit. I would definitely say check this out, One Doggus, because the protagonist is definitely 100% the dog. They don't focus on anyone else as much. The mother is played by Mariel Hemingway, and I don't think anyone else was in anything real big, but if they were, it was from stuff y'all would know way better than me. So I'm just saying, check out 1996 Bad Moon, because it's an amazing amount of dog acting here. Scott out.
Is it Michael Pare in that?
Sure, why not?
I want to say
know.
he is. I remember that movie from my video store days. I've never seen it, but it sounds more appealing now.
Yeah.
Dogs fight werewolves and shit and staring contests. Yeah, Michael Pare. He's the male lead.
Okay.
Star of the Philadelphia Experiments.
Well, apparently the dog is the lead, according to that voicemail.
Yeah, that's-
Chuck.
That's what Scott told us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dog's name is Thor.
Good dog name.
Played by a dog named Primo.
Oh,
Primo.
not as good a dog name.
Primo.
That dog is not alive right now.
Yeah. If that was 96,
Guaranteed.
No, that dog is chilling out on a farm with all the other good boys.
That dog's totally cool. But it's
right.
on the list.
we've got one more email we'll get to.
Okay.
First, I want to note Iron Giant is available on Netflix right now.
Cool.
Really?
To
Hell
stream.
yes.
Watch that.
Watch fucking Iron Giant, because that is an amazing movie.
Cool.
Anyway, last one up is from Yuri.
Hey, it's Jerry.
Yep. It says, request.
Denied. I mean,
Go on.
Hang on. Says, I don't have an actual title in mind, but I would like y'all to do another Ice-T movie, just because I like y'all's Ice-T impressions. Also, I'm enjoying your Patreon content. Hope you guys enjoy my $1+ a month. Yuri. Thanks, Yuri. And we do enjoy
Thanks,
your money.
Jerry. We like your money. Keep sending it to us. I wanted to make sure to get the Ice-T impersonation in there.
Sure.
Kids are grinding up $1 bills, and they're floating them in Mountain Dew. They're calling it the Patreon special.
Yeah. There's plenty to choose from on Ice-T's filmography, so.
Yeah, he needs to make a return.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Either him or Terrence Howard. I enjoy our Terrence Howard.
Because it's the same impression.
Nah. Terrence Howard is a little higher pitched than Terrence Howard.
I thought we decided to do Terrence Howard. You just had to remove the lisp.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the trick?
You can still have. Well, you have the lisp, and then it's
A little
Mike
bit,
Tyson.
little bit, yeah.
Because Terrence Howard is Mike Tyson without the lisp.
and it's Mike Tyson. There we go.
Yep.
Mike Tyson. There it is.
Yep.
Found my Mike Tyson. There's so many of those guys with, good accents, good, unique, like snowflakes.
Mm-hmm.
Good vocal ticks.
Yeah.
Well, as promised, we're going to do Ricochet soon. Ricochet features Ice-T.
Sweet.
Sweet tea.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sweet.
I like it.
Some Southern style iced tea.
I'm going to watch that.
Hell, we should just do Trespass because Bill Paxton's in it.
We could also do that.
Does Ice-T catch him trespassing?
Yes.
You're in the wrong neighborhood, Bill
Technically,
Paxton.
Bill Paxton is the star of Trespass.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
It's Bill Paxton, William Sadler, Ice-T, and Ice Cube.
The
Power of the ice is combined.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
It's also a Walter Hill movie, so that'll settle.
Shit. Yeah. We had that debate, didn't we?
We and it's written by Robert Zemeckis. So I.
What?
Yeah. Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale wrote it. Walter Hill directed it.
No. Sorry. I veto. Can't happen.
Zeus is in it.
No.
Zeus.
Zeus?
Zeus.
I've got to veto that. I'm sorry. We can watch that on our own, but no.
All right.
All right.
Fair enough.
Well, I think that's it for the night.
I think so.
Let's get some contact information.
All right, I'm going to take a deep breath here because go to the website, BMFcast.com. Email us, bmf@bmfcast.com. Give us a call on the Garfield phone, 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. Also, huge plug for the Patreon here. We are doing a lot of stuff on the Patreon. We've got BMF Extra. We've got the Bonus BS podcast, Doctor Who You, Good News Everyone, Mackey's Futurama rewatch podcast, and Fun Time Torpedoes, which is Harlow's Star Trek TNG rewatch. And a thing that I'm doing sort of for the Patreon, but is not necessarily exclusive for patrons, is the BJ's Pile of Shame, which is a Monday night, every Monday night stream for video games, and it's not directly BMFcast related, but this is all Big Happy Family. So every Monday night I'm streaming a video game, and our patrons at any donation level get to vote in a poll, which I put up every month. And once the poll is over, I grab that video game and I will be playing that for the entire month. So if you're a patron, you can get in on some of that action.
And they can see you on twitch.tv/NoQuartersNet.
Correct.
So
Well, not see you. You don't have a camera on.
not
you, right?
yet.
Okay, not yet.
Who knows?
Yet.
Yeah.
If we get enough Patreon money.
I could find
Also,
one of those PlayStation iToys.
Not that the Pile of Shame is obviously a good and accurate title, but I just thought of, like, if you're going to do it continually on Monday nights, you're going to call it Monday Night Bra.
No, thank you. I don't want to. I don't want to play any GameCube with you.
Oh, come on.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Bro out.
But sorry, I have already forgotten the real thing that I titled it, which is BJ versus the Pile of Shame.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's totally different then.
Yeah, but Monday Night Bra is all right. That's a pretty good joke. I honestly was trying to think of something that was like Monday Night Wrestling or football adjacent, but I wasn't that clever. So, anyhow, that's what we're doing. The Patreon is chock full. Some of the things are at the $5 level. A lot of things are at the $1 level. We are cranking out content there. So if you feel like we're worth it, throw a couple bucks our way, and you'll get some sweet ass hot new content. And it is just pouring in all the time. It seems like every day there's a new something posting on the Patreon.
Yeah,
so.
I'm going to spoil that. I'm not putting out Funtime Torpedoes during the week this week. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to try to make the second episode more coherent, where I actually talk about what happens in the episode instead of just like immediate stream of thought.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Whatever, man.
Well, I know. I was just like, literally the last one was like, the credits were rolling, pause.
Yeah, well, we only promised one a month, so...
Yeah.
I'll probably
Yeah.
get it up on the weekend. I'm just saying. Like,
I'm going to try and do every other week. But last week was crazy. Last week we put six podcasts in 6 days. So
Yeah.
And on the 7th day we rested.
Yes, we did. Literally nothing posted on Sunday. So,
But yeah,
phew.
But yeah, we're a content factory at this point.
Clearly.
So pay us.
if they don't want to pay
Fair
us,
wages for content.
Yeah, if they don't want to pay us, but they want to get in touch, how can they do that?
Well, I already told you. They could go to bmfcast.com. They could They could email at bmf@bmfcast.com, or they could call 910-5JOCKS-BMF 910-556-9263 and get in touch with us. Twitter's at BMFcast. All the things are at BMFcast.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget to check out. We have a new episode that posted at the time of this episode's posting. It was last week. We posted a new episode of No Quarters. So go check that out.
Yep,
That's right. It's free.
Okay.
awesome.
I'm timing out 1 second before I give the sign out. Sorry, Chuck, for editing. But I wanted to say, in case like people start like, oh, it's over, click, bye. If our winner, our Cool Breeze winner is in the live stream, I said it at the beginning, I figured I'd say it now, just because in case they're lurking out there.
Right. Zarok.
Yeah, we don't have your shipping info. So
Yeah.
if you're here, pipe
Get
up
in
and
touch.
or email us because we need to get your movie.
Yep.
So. All right, well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out.
I just didn't know if we do that shit and people are like, click bye,
Bye, motherfucker.
Some are.
Yeah.
We tend to drop like 3 or 4 when we start signing off.
Sure.
Usually when I start rambling about Patreon.
That's when we should say the best stuff.
That's when I do say the best stuff.
And they missed out.
The best stuff
we
is
didn't acapella,
fuck you, pay me.
Whatever.
Do do do
Yeah.
do.
Oh.
What's it called?
do, do,
Red
do,
River
do,
Rock.
do.
Yeah.
Do 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 do.
Which is funny because that's played in Battle Beyond the Stars, which I just reviewed, and was like, it's always like, wait, how do I know this? Oh, right.
Well, like when I realized it was in the Creature from the Black Lagoon pinball table,
Uh-huh.
that was like, I was sitting there playing and I was like,
Yeah.
fuck is that? Oh shit, that's our music. Well, it's not our music.
Right, no.
I mean, to be fair, you stole it from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles soundtrack, but it's a much older song. It's like a traditional song.
Red River, the movie.
Was that written for that movie, or was it traditional before
It might
that?
have been traditional before that, but obviously.
Because I've heard that all over the place.
Yeah. It must have some kind of free and easy way to get it or something. Anywho. All right, we are shutting down the stream. Sorry if you didn't hear it. Please email us. We want to get you a movie.
Be here next week for our 8th anniversary special.
Yeah, yeah. 8 years next week.
Been 8 years. That's insane.
Anytime you think, what was that? It's not reggae. What the fuck do you call that? What was 311?
Reggae is not the 8th anniversary gift.
Huh? Ska? Was 311 ska? It wasn't even really ska though.
No, they were.
No, they were.
Like it was kind of reggae-ish.
Chill hop.
Chill hop. Yeah.
They were.
I don't know.
It's just sad that that's how we can fucking remember our
They were
anniversary.
white people appropriation
There you go.
All right, sir.
of both hip hop and reggae.
If reggae was made by shitty white people, it would be 311.
You have a 311 in progress. Shitty music coming from the speakers.
Oh no, it's white people again.
Jeez, it's the